Yeah. That's right. What the Tuesday? Tuesday, October the 28th. Everybody, please
Uh,
tell a friend. Fall in to place. You know how we do, man. It's Rec
wait,
Room Sports.
hey,
We got
wait,
what's
wait!
what
I
what's
gotta say this is because this is just too great. I don't know if
oh,
we're gonna have April on tonight, but
oh my God.
uh, normally when I do streams nowadays is I have like music on in the background, not to where everybody else can hear it, but it's on like another tab to where only I can hear it. And you remember that meme of Aaron Glenn after week one when they
Mhm.
blocked that field goal, and remember
Mm,
the song that came up to it? It was Earth, Wind, and Fire
mm.
from Earth, Wind, and Fire. I got that playing in my head right now, and I was like, this is very fitting considering the Jets actually did win this week.
The
So
Jets won this weekend. Oh my God. Where's Averill? Because we need to clap it up for her. Clap it up for Averill. That's right. Miss Jets girl, of course, will be in the building later on. You know, she's excited about other stuff because apparently she got a lot of time on her hands because she was up till 3 o'clock in the morning watching game three of the World Series. And of course, we're going to get a little bit into that. I mean, even though it was on the West Coast, even though Shohei Ohtani had a historic game, which we will get into, I couldn't do that, bro. I couldn't. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm gonna tell you the truth. This past week, Alan, you know what I was doing?
what's up?
Full of the NBA, bro. Like right now, we've been starting off with a bang, dog. Y'all know how we do, man. Tuesdays we do the warm up. We gotta just keep it real right now. The NBA season started, and everybody had their eyes on a couple things, and I'm like, ooh, VJ Edgecombe. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, when is Kyrie coming back? Ooh, guess what? NBA tonight is on ESPN. All of that stuff, Shaq and Kenny and Charles, EJ on ESPN. Like it was so much going on from last week Monday up until now that I kind of had to just slow down on my sports intake because I was ready to talk about a little bit of everything. Alan,
I
I
mean,
know you saw. I know you saw.
first two games I had to watch were both double overtime games. I mean, I'm
Yes,
already exhausted. I'm already
yes,
exhausted.
yes.
It's
And I,
crazy.
for you as a OKC fan, bro, what have you been? What has piqued your interest so far as an OKC fan, bro?
I think we're starting to see a little bit more improvement in Chet already through 3 games in the season.
Already, bro?
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. Um, I really like AJ Mitchell. AJ Mitchell's so fun to watch. I know Shea's the main guy, and he's going to be running point for a while. But if you ever have those two guys out there at the same time, I know they're going to have them at some point. It's going to be fun. But the Thunder bench is just so deep. There's so many great guys that you could bring off there. Casey Wallace, Alex Caruso, AJ Mitchell now. Um, it's gonna be a fun season. There's a lot of these guys that can be starters in the league. I think so. That's what happens when you have a very deep roster. And Sam Presti, kudos to you, man, for building this roster.
For sure, for sure. And you know what? It's actually great that we got our guy Evan Wheeler in the background from P5 Athletics. The thing is, as we begin to discuss this, we got to talk about the type of training that goes into making these players great. And that's why we got my man's in the background. He's going to tell us what he does out here in Northern Florida with some of high school, middle school, elementary school, ladies, men's, older guys, plus 40. It don't matter. Evan training everybody right now. If you got the time, P5 has a court and a basketball for you. So I can't wait to get into that. But bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like just thinking about teams and team basketball, I feel like is coming back. A lot of the stars that we used to put like top tier and we would go, oh, it's a big three and these 3D. I think a lot of that has changed. Like I'm thinking about the Warriors right now. We're catching the twilight, so to speak, of Steph Curry and his greatness. I can't lie to anyone and not say once again we see that Draymond Green is a glue guy. He is holding that ship together. I'm looking at the Lakers, bro.
He's a glue guy, but he's also already been getting into trouble. So
He's
we're
already
getting we're getting peak midseason Draymond Green already, which is
look. He got extra gray. He got extra grays in his beard. He's not covering it up. He is not playing for none of the games right now with these cats. Okay?
And I love I love that a lot of teams are starting to kind of go back to NBA fundamentals. Like we're not just going to come out here chucking threes. We're going to actually game plan. We're going to be smart. Right. We're kind of build a strategy with Orlando Magic. I know you like doing the little shake with the Orlando Magic. Right. They're playing well so far. Yeah, I know we're only 3 games in, but it's hard. Like it's been an exciting first week, man. I can't wait to see what the rest of the season has in store.
Bro, listen, and my thing is, teams like the Lakers with a guy like LeBron who's just not even playing right now. The Lakers got Austin Reeves, and somehow they're transforming him to a whole nother player, like with no LeBron. And of course, we know we cannot forget about the progress that we've seen from their star, which they acquired from Dallas. We know what we're talking about, but we got to talk about some of the others sometimes. Like the team element is happening right now, and I'm excited to get into it. Of course, once again, we got our guy Evan Wheeler in the background from P5 Athletics, who I'm talking about the game that the way that the game has evolved and what he has had to do in order to get these younger players ready to get on the court. I'm excited to talk to him about that. Of course, and there's a couple of things too. We got to get into the NFL. The NFL is going to be happening. Of course, we got a game on Thursday. We had some really good games this past weekend. We got enough. Whoa, I don't want to. Should I give it away? Tell them we got an uphill battle. Talk about. We got an uphill battle to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. But we're not going to get into too deep right now. You know what? We 5 and 6 minutes in. We might as well hit the button because everybody else is coming, right?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Go ahead, man. So look, check this out, man. We appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe. It's the boys from the Rec Room. Get ready to get into it right about now.
This is Rec Room Sports. Olympians carrying the torch, going where they don't go. We ain't lost. From the optics to the topics, we got this with synopsis. Think outside the boxes like Jay on the mic or your boy K Witt. Joe is my coach, T Sweat on the mix. All sports, even if you catch fish like Nate Diaz catches fist. You need to catch this episode, it's a can't miss. We go live and you should subscribe and X's and O's. We made our plan, yo.
Yeah. Once again, y'all, you know what time it is. It's Tuesday. We going up 10:28. Thank God for another day. First of all, you got to always do that. So the biggest thing right now, man, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy AP Alan Perales. What's going on, bro? How you feeling?
Is it great to be alive on a Tuesday night or what, my friend?
Oh man, we here for it, and I know, Alan. I know you got some college football somewhere in that back pocket. I know you're ready for it. So we're not even going to get into it yet. I can't wait to see what your 5 things are that you got from this weekend in college football, because there were some big games over this past weekend.
Real quick though, thoughts and prayers to the family of Nick Mangold, who passed away this past week.
Sure, man.
One of the greatest offensive linemen to play the game in this generation in the 2000s. Longtime New York Jet. Was with the franchise's entire career. Helped get the Jets to back-to-back AFC Championship games, 2009 and 2010. Only 41 years old, I believe, 41, 44 in that range. I think it was 41. And then we had Doug Martin last week.
Yeah, man. It's
and a lot of it, and people are, and automatically when they see NFL player, they automatically jump to CTE. But you guys had we're going through a lot of medical problems that were not CTE, and unfortunately for Nick Mangold, it ended up being the cause of his passing. But I know April, it's one of her favorite players. Since she's a big Jets fan, we saw Rex Ryan Sunday morning It was one of his favorite players that he got to coach in his career. Just one of those likable guys, one of those guys that nobody really had anything bad to say about. And yeah, he was all-pro center in my mind, he was an all-pro for basically his entire career since he came out. So one of the best to ever do it. I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame or not, but I think there's a good chance he could be, because he was just that good. But long-time Jet, long-time all-pro, Pro Bowl offensive lineman, will definitely be missed.
Yeah, man. So prayers and thoughts go out to Nick Mangold and the family of that line. We'll be mourning him in his loss. That's a big deal. But when God doesn't make mistakes, like we like to say all the time, you gotta respect it. And he's whatever he's got going on, we no longer have to worry about because he's where he is supposed to be. But anyway, once again, man, it's Tuesday. You know how we do each and every week. It's the guys from the Rec Room Sports Hub. Make sure you do what we do, or do what you do rather, and like, share, and subscribe. Of course, you know how to do it, right? You can find us on Twitter/X at Rec Room Sports. You can find us on Instagram. That's IG_Rec Room Sports. You can also find us on TikTok at Rec Room Sports Hub. And then somehow, some way, if you got time, catch us on YouTube, man. Subscribe to the channel. That's the Rec Room Sports Hub. And you know how we do, man. Everybody in the chat, make sure you shout out your team. So who's your team? Let us know in the comments, whether it be football, basketball. We're going to get into a little baseball, but make sure you do that. And then, of course, we got to give them some shout outs, man. So shout out to all of my workers, everybody working in Duval County. Shout out to everybody doing that, the teachers who, of course, are underpaid. Shout out to all of my servicemen and women out there because, of course, right now we're going through this crazy mess with the government where somebody's not going to be receiving their benefits, but we still got to hold each other down and hold each other accountable. Also, big shouts out to my guy, Will Holloman. That's right. Our guest last week, Will Holloman from Willpower Athletics, joined us to kind of kick off the NBA season. And out of nowhere, I think we had a really great show with him last week. So I was excited to have him in. But I think we got to keep the ball rolling, as they say. And as we do each and every Tuesday, you got to know, y'all, we going up on a Tuesday. So right now, as I get my thoughts together, right? So the NBA season started last week on Tuesday. We were spectators to what? 2 overtime games? Game 1 and 2, technically, right, Alan?
Yeah, we just had game 4 tonight for us. So we're 4-0 right out the gate. So
and it's been some crazy scores, some really evident people who have been working on their game. And speaking of working on their game, I gotta give a big shout out to this guest. You know how when you meet people and like somehow, some way, you just get into a conversation about something real common. It could be fishing, it could be cars. For me and this guy, it just so happened to be basketball. And I don't know what made me talk to him about basketball in the bank. I have no idea. But somehow, some way, we got into it. And he was like, "Nah, man, I train guys. I'm really nice. They come out here and they're putting in that work." And I was like, "No, man, for real, seriously. Give me your information. Let me follow you on social media. And then when we get some time, I need you in here." And just so happened about a month or so ago, he was like, "Bro, I'm ready right now. Give me the ball." I was like, "I got you." And so now he is backstage. I got to give him a great introduction because that's how great he was to me. I love it when people come through and do what they do. So, of course, we got to give a big shout out to our guests in the background from P5 Athletics, my guy, your guys too, Mr. Wheeler. How we got?
Oh man. What's up, fellas? I was gonna say, man, that's an amazing introduction. Oh my goodness, man. You got me the chills over here, brother. I'm ready to run through a wall, man.
Hey man, well, we appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? We no need to run through a wall today. But of course, thanks for joining the crew. And of course, we got to do a little intro for us, man. So, of course, I met you at my job, having a conversation, and out of nowhere, we sparked some common interest in our love for basketball. So, coming into this conversation, right? P5 Athletics, man. Tell us about your journey into creating it, and what got you to that point where you said, I got to do something to give back to the game.
Oh my goodness, man! What a great question. Well, first of all, we don't have a long enough show to probably get into all that, so I'll keep it short and sweet, man. At the end of the day, brother, I was a hard worker my whole life. I was never physically the most gifted. I was very twitchy and had amazing hand-eye coordination, but I wasn't a guy that was playing above the rim or anything like that. And so from a very young age, and especially early on in my career, I just understood that the work was what I had to do. So I was just a worker, man, and I just worked as hard as I possibly could to get an opportunity in college. Got an amazing opportunity, had a decent college career, I think pretty well, and knew that I loved basketball, man. Other than God, my whole life, the most important thing for me was basketball. A lot of people say that it saves their lives, but it really, physically, mentally, emotionally saved my life. And so I'm forever indebted. But man, I got out of college and was working with young kids, and someone approached me about coaching a team, and I always was still playing and super competitive. And so started coaching and absolutely just fell in love with the fact that I could still be super competitive. And that was so important to me. And so with the coaching aspect, that kind of led into training players, and one thing led to another, from one job to another. And I was doing some personal training and just felt like the Lord was leading me in another direction. And so basically you put everything I had, all the eggs in one basket, and said I was going to go all in with this training thing, and went through a tons of ups and downs. We've celebrated over 7 years now, so we've been amazing in the game for a while, which is a huge blessing. But there was a lot of ups and downs to get here, man. But I'm beyond blessed and thankful. I think God has given me a unique ability to be able to create relationship, and so that has helped me with every one of my athletes that I've had the privilege and the pleasure of working with. And I'm a super competitive dude, man. I'm not one of these trainers out here that, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, I'm not a guy that throws shade at all, but I had one of my clients the other day, a high level guy, was like, man, coach, I've never worked with a trainer that can actually do all the stuff and actually show me. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, if you're not working with somebody that can actually get busy and show you how to still do it, I think there's something that goes hand in hand with that. So just beyond blessed and thankful, man. Operate every day, train 6 or 7 days out of the week, have athletes from as young as my 6-year-old son, all the way up to pro athletes. I've trained girls in the WNBA. My man Craig, shout outs to Craig, just went back overseas to Taiwan. I've got about 6 or 7 players between male and female that are overseas. Got a ton of athletes in college and a ton of athletes around here in the area, man. So just beyond blessed to create the relationships that I have, man, and thankful for this platform and this opportunity to share it.
Man, listen, you right, man. Just like you said, you've been blessed with the opportunity and the gift of creating and nurturing relationships. And I got a chance to kind of live vicariously through your social media platforms on both Facebook and Instagram, and kind of get the bearings for like what you do. But bro, like this is a big deal for me because in my mind, something like what you do is easily one of the main things that kids, I think, who want to learn it's a necessity because a lot of times, in my opinion, being coachable is one of the things that kind of go out of the window when we talk to younger people these days, and we say, hey, well, get in the gym, well, work on your shot, well, do this and do that. But do we teach them how to be approached by someone who may not be their parents, because that's the number one line right there. You ain't my daddy.
For sure, for sure, yeah, for sure.
But of course, someone like yourself. Oh yeah, make sure y'all check out the P5 Athletics page
Thank you,
and
brother.
follow that on Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Plenty of stories, plenty of videos. Is actually very dope. Yeah, check him out now. That's how you know he's in his bag. Evan got that beard growing, looking crazy right now. Okay,
Yeah, then I had to cut it, man. The wife was getting fed up, so I had to go ahead and cut it off, man. Happy
oh,
wife, happy
man.
life. You know that.
Yes, sir. That's for sure. That's for
For
sure.
sure.
But I think
Go
that's
ahead.
one of the main things that go into it. We were talking with Will last week and his experiences with the youth in this generation. They're getting, you know, um, easily recognizable due to having the ability to post themselves on social media.
Sure.
In your experience with training some of these young athletes, have you had to go out of your way to say, hey, it's not about being on camera right now, it's about working? Has that been something you've encountered a lot lately?
So you know what, brother? I'm going to actually answer in the opposite direction of both of those. So I don't know if it's just the work that I've put in, and I've traveled across the country and been around the best and been with the best to try to learn from the best. And I don't know if it's because of that or the presence that I bring. But usually it's the opposite direction, man. I don't have a lot of parents. Most of them are like, wow, my kid will listen to you, but they won't listen to me. And so it's a lot of the opposite. So I take that very personal. I take that very serious. If I'm going to be a voice or a direction for a young athlete, I want to make sure that, I'm trying to be as positive and advancing their game as possible. So I would say from that standpoint, that's a little bit different. And, uh, I don't know if maybe I just haven't embraced the social media fully the way that I should, or if I'm just so focused within the moment. But my gym is just unique, man. We're very different. Like it's about the work, and you're gonna come in, and we don't care if there's 50 cameras in there or if there's no cameras in there. We're gonna work like NBA scouts are watching, and that's how it's supposed to be. And if you don't bring that energy and that intensity, then you're either gonna get run over, or it's not going to be a good fit for you. And it's awesome because a lot of the time, kids will always come back and they'll keep fighting, and those are the ones that turn into something. So I haven't had much of a problem with the social media. I have had my select few athletes that definitely fancy themselves in front of a camera for sure, for sure. But it's a platform that guys got to take advantage of, man. I know that when I was hooping, we didn't have that, and you couldn't show off anything, and so it would have been a blessing to be able to put film together and showcase that. And I don't want to shout out anything. I think every dad thinks that their kid is super special, but with my son who's 6, we're approaching some pretty crazy territory with how fast he's accelerating and how good he's getting and who he's working with. So, that might be something where we try to latch on to him and showcase some of the stuff that he's doing. I've seen some other parents of former players and trainers that have found that. So we may, venture down that road. But for the most part, man, I think social media is an amazing platform that will allow you to be able to showcase yourself and maybe touch yourself in certain areas that wouldn't be able to. Maybe a coach in Alaska or a coach in West Virginia could see a highlight tape. Sorry, Mo. Could see a highlight tape or something, and they could come across and be like, wow, how do I get in touch with this guy? How can I see this guy? Whereas if he was never in Jacksonville, Florida, and didn't have that social media, he would never be able to see him. So definitely has its blessings and definitely has its curses. The RWE and the OTE stuff, I have my own opinions about that, but that's a little bit more, some of the MSGH and some of the, different all-star showcases and stuff. That's a whole different ball game. But I think the social media is definitely a special thing we can use.
Yeah, man. And you hit the
I was
nail on.
gonna say back in the day, you would have to go to you would have to either have to hear it through word of mouth, or you would have to actually read a newspaper about some of these kids that are tearing it up elsewhere. So it's like
For sure.
I personally don't like social media that much because there's a lot of negativity that goes around it.
For sure.
But it is a very helpful platform when trying to find talent to come in for whether it's college or the NBA or what have you. It's so much easier for scouts to find these guys and be like, hey, this is a guy we have to keep an eye on down the road because we may want to pick this kid up.
For sure, man. And I think one thing I want to say really quickly is, unfortunately, I don't know if it's just in my city, but I think it's pretty much, for the most part, a universal thing in the States is, the high school coaches aren't doing a good enough job of trying to market and push their players as well. So unfortunately, a lot of these players are put in a situation where their parents or themselves are the only people that can market them to get them opportunity. I have a couple kids in mind that I just train specifically, especially one that goes to Christ Church Academy, man. I mean, this kid's can drop 40 at the drop of a hat. If the coach just lets him do it, he'll lead the city in scoring, and he's never even talked to a college coach. And it's just unbelievable because how in the world are you not pushing a guy who's that special? But, a lot of these coaches are math teachers or high school teachers, or, if you are wanting to be a full-time coach, you don't get the opportunity to get paid like a full-time coach. They pay you $2,500 and expect you to be there 200 hours, for a season, and it's just impossible to keep up. So I understand that there's, ebbs and flows with both, but I love the point, man.
I mean, the biggest example I've had recently, sorry to cut you off with, the biggest example I've seen recently is Tucker Kraft in Green Bay.
Come on.
Coming out of North Dakota. He's playing 8-man football in high school. Like, that's something that not many people even know is a thing. Like, I mean, I grew up with 6-man football in Texas, so I know there's that. There's 8-man football here in Oklahoma and
Crazy with
like
the
yeah. No,
awesome.
I don't think he had a single Division I offer. Obviously, being out that way, it's a small town in North Dakota. You know, he goes to North Dakota State, which that school in FCS has completely blown up. Is one of the best colleges in FCS play. There's a lot of people that think they can make the jump to FBS, but I don't think they want to. I think they want to stay where they're at in FCS. But yeah, a guy going to an FCS college that was not really recruited as high, playing 8-man football, and he's now, to me, he's top 5 tight end in the league right now.
Yeah, he's been killing
in the NFL, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm a little sore about him because my wife just beat me in fantasy because of him specifically. So I'm a little butthurt about it. So yeah, so thanks for the Tucker Kraft shout out.
Oh yeah, man. We get into all of that too. Alan is also on one of our shows, Lock It In, where he discusses all the ins and outs of fantasy football. But in the background right now, we got our guy, Cleveland's own, but Las Vegas is home. He just came from his son's practice, if I'm not mistaken. So one more time, give it up for our guy, Bobby G. Bobby G, what it do?
Shout out, Bobby.
Yo, what's good, y'all?
What's up, Bobby?
So Bobby, we in the building right now with our guy Evan Wheeler from P5 Athletics. You have a young athlete that you are walking through the ins and out of becoming an athlete and maturing, right? Is there anything that you wanted to throw Evan's way? Because I know we were talking about this off camera a little bit.
I mean, well, you know, my guy's young. He's 9 years old. So right now my focus is just teaching him the fundamentals of every game, like be it football, be it basketball, be it soccer. And I mean, most things I cover, but obviously if I don't know something, then I bring in or take him to somebody that does. The only info or, you know, message I would give the parents is if your child shows an apathy for something, if you can't do it, point them in the right direction. Don't be stubborn and bullheaded thinking you know everything, or even if it is something that you know a lot about. Like, you know, I tried to live that hoop life in my teens, but that was how many ages ago? You know, AAU wasn't really hitting like that when I was a kid. Now that's changed. So, you know, just don't be afraid to not know what you don't know. You know,
great advice. Appreciate that.
For sure. And then, you know what I'm saying, on the offset of everybody being parents, we were all there when we, you know, wanted to be you know, captain of the team or all city, you know what I'm saying, at one point in time. Well, I've been there before. So, you know what I'm saying, as you deal with a variety of, you know, the youth, men and women, you know, what seems to be one of your biggest tools that you use when they come to you and they say, I want to get better? What, like, especially with the game changing right now with positionless basketball, you got, you know, Bobby's from that era. Shout out to Jay, who just now put something in the comment section talking about Allen. I don't know if you know, but you will find out, Evan. Allen will talk about Oklahoma, if not Oklahoma City Thunder, at least 5 times per show. By the time this weekend, if we were doing shots per time, he said Oklahoma.
Hey, I've gotten better, all right? I've gotten better.
He's doing better.
Well deserved, man. I mean, I'm a Kentucky guy. I'm a Kentucky guy, brother, so SGA is my guy. So Casey Wallace is my guy. So I like OKC too.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, what's one of your biggest things, one of your biggest tools right now that you're using to train athletes, men and women? Are you focusing more on shooting? Are you focusing more on ball handling? Is it a combination of the two? Because, you know, now that's the thing. You got to be able to pretty much play all positions.
For sure, man. Oh, was that for me?
Yeah, that was for you, bro.
Okay, so some transparency here. I really am a positionless coach and a positionless trainer. So I think if you look at something like a Wembanyama, I think that when you see how much the game has advanced, I think that if you can't shoot in today's game, I think you're going to struggle. And I think that if you can't knock down an open shot, or if you can't hit a one dribble pull up consistently, or you can't pump fake and relocate your feet for a catch and shoot, I think you're going to struggle because everyone seems to be offensively minded. See, one thing that I appreciate so much about when I was growing up that I can remember is there were a lot more role players, and people really appreciated what a role player was. And unfortunately, I think that's kind of a lost art in today's game, because I think everybody wants the ball in their hands because they think that points and they think that highlights are what matters. When realistically, if you give me 5 guys that would be willing to play a role, or 4 guys that are role players with 1 guy that can be a creator and a developer of the offense, I think I would win a lot more games than 5 guys who want to be offensively minded and have the ball. So whether you're 6'9" or 6'10", shout out to my boy Ja, 6'10", 5-star freshman from Fleming Island, gonna be one of the top recruits in the country. We don't work on any post stuff. When he's in the gym with me, we're constantly getting in the bag, working on the handle. We're working on easy 1 and 2, simple move creations for space. We're working on his jump shot off the move. We're working on catch and shoots out of the mid post. Working from the foul line area. But everything he's doing for the most part is attacking off the bounce. We have the ball in his hands because a guy like that, Paulo is 6'10". So I mean, you got 6'10" who can put it on the floor and do everything. Now you got a ton of those guys, but I think skill is the most important thing, and I think that you have to know how to develop skill and train skill, and I think that that can possibly be boring. So you have to find ways to be able to work on the same thing in multiple different areas. And I think that that's one thing that I try to do. We have a baseline of what you're going to get when you walk into the gym. We're going to test your IQ. We're going to work on your ball handling. We're going to work on your finishing. We're going to work on your shot creating. We're going to work on your jump shot. We're going to work on all those things, but we're going to do it in different ways in different areas so you can see how the game is supposed to be taught. And last thing that I'll say about the training, that I think that one thing that I try to do is I also like to train with the ball without in your hands. Speaking back of what we were just talking about. So I'm a big, let's pass and get off the ball. Let's dribble handoff. Let's, screen the 45 and work from there. I'm a big off the ball type of guy too. Let's work on curl cuts. Let's work on drifts. Let's work on fades. Learn how to play with the ball without the ball in your hands as well, because that'll get you further if you go to a tryout and you have a hot dog who has the ball in his hands every time, but you get 3 catch and shoot opportunities and you knock it down. You take a charge, you get 3 out of area rebounds, and you're clapping up for your teammates, and you're the first guy to go over and help somebody up when they fall down. I think I would take that player over somebody that is just jacking shots and maybe hits 10 threes. So that's just how I feel.
Nah, man, dog. Listen, you hit the nail on the head for that one, because I think that, and as I see Bobby chuckle, I think that's the realest thing I've heard in a long time, bro. And of course, the implementation of something like that is wild, because moving without the ball is where some of our greatest scorers are winning. Before Klay Thompson went down, he was one of the best to do it. And of course we see Steph, and Bobby was in that conversation. Shout out to Jay, who's also in the comments right now. I told you Jay's out there. And Evan, I gotta tell you, so Jay not only drives truck, but he goes to some of our favorite adult.
Whoa, be careful.
Adult. Yeah, and he aligns mirrors. He makes sure the mirrors are there.
Okay,
the lights works. Make sure the poles are 180 degrees. Shout out to Jay.
Shout out to Jay, bro.
Also our resident baller. So Jay is in the comment section heavy right now. Jay, thank you so much. But as we continue on, bro, I think that's a really big deal, because we get guys who want to handle the ball, who want to be somewhat of I don't want to say a hot dog, so to speak, but then when you look at the league now, to catch and shoot, the corner 3, the guy that runs straight to the corner, is essential, and that's you hit the nail on the head with that one for sure, bro. And as we kind of transition the conversation from what you do every day, I kind of want to take it to just things that have been happening recently. So like we've got the top 4 picks in this year's draft that have kind of been putting on display some of the work that they've been doing. And of course, when I talk about the top 4 picks, everybody can get a grasp. We're talking about Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, BJ Edgecombe, and of course, Con Knipple, who I think sometimes gets left in the back pocket a little bit.
Baller.
Yeah, but he gets left in the back pocket due to his skill set. But I think he's going to shine a lot this coming season, especially playing with a ball dominant guy who likes to get the ball off in LaMelo Ball. So out of these 4 guys right now, especially these rookies, season just started. Whom are you more excited about? Just viewing off the dribble from the past what 3-4 games. It's a small sample size, but who do you like so far?
Oh man. Well, I am, I said I'm a Kentucky guy. I'm from Kentucky, but I'm in love with Cooper Flagg. So I'm a big Cooper Flagg fan. The way that he approaches the game, his energy, his IQ, his ferociousness, tenacity, he just plays the right way. He's like an undersized guard that was forced to play the big man spot and just happened to be a dog at it. And so he just happened to have a ton of skill. That's his mentality, and he just happened to be a super skilled guy. But I'm going to give you a confession, man. I follow this guy on X, and he breaks down, like kind of like a all 22 for all the NBA players when they have great games. And when I watched the last preseason game of VJ Edgecombe, I was so blown away by how much he jumped off my screen from a defensive standpoint, from a shot creating standpoint, and then from an athleticism standpoint. I mean, I'm thinking that this might be a little outlandish, but we're talking about like a Derrick Rose in his prime type athlete, in my opinion. A guy that just plays with a motor that's just going to be unstoppable. And he has a viral clip going around to where he's with, shout out to my guy Rico Hines. He was with Rico Hines this summer, and him and the kid Love from Arizona almost got into a fist fight just talking about playing pickup, just because that's how competitive he is. So I'm an Edgecombe guy. I really think that you hit the nail on the head when it shouted out Con. His skill set to be 6'7", to be able to put it on the floor. He uses his body exceptional. He can play inside out. He's a catch and shoot demon. He really gives you everything that you could ask for and then some. But I think that when we all look back on this draft, the one that's going to make the biggest impact and potentially have one of the roles moving forward that could be dynastic. And I know we don't need to throw that word around, but from what I'm seeing with Wemby, I think Dylan Harper is different. I think Dylan Harper is a veteran already. He reminds me of a tenured pro. He feels like, obviously his dad being who he was with Ron and having the pedigree that he has in the championships and just what he's been around growing up, it obviously makes a difference. But he's going to be a solid 20 plus point guy, contributor moving forward. And then they've really could potentially have the last 3 drafts the best player out of each draft. Obviously Stephon Castle was no brainer, the best player last year, even though I like Ricochet. And then of course the year before Wemby, not even a question. And then I think Dylan Harper. But I think ceiling wise, if I had to say, I can't go away from what I think Cooper Flagg is, man. I think we could be seeing another LeBron type, and I am a LeBron guy, like die hard, been in fist fights over him, like still argue to this day. I'm the biggest LeBron guy. Although recently I've kind of backed off the argument a little bit after I've seen a couple things from Jordan, because I'm still a little younger. I grew up a little bit with him, but man alive, he was I don't want to get off topic, but that was just a different human being walking around with different human beings. He was the alien like Wemby is today. He was like that back then. There was nobody that moved like him. So it was incredible. But I would say I know that was a long-winded answer. There's a lot of other rookies that I like as well, man. My guy Coward from Memphis has been absolutely balling. And there's some other guys that I really like. But I'm going to go ahead and hitch my wagon onto Cooper Flagg. I really think he's got a chance to be that next special guy.
Yeah, bro. First of all, let me tell you something. This is exactly the place for that. When you got a long-winded answer, I don't know if you've heard Bobby tell people no. Okay, when Bobby doesn't like the answer, he gives a complete description as to why you are wrong. So
shout out Bobby, man. I love it.
Just fine. And we're not even gonna mention the word Oklahoma. We're not even gonna say okay right now. But as we continue on, bro, I had a conversation with you about what you do, and I asked you to tell me a couple of players that you could tell have been putting in that work in the gym, as you do every day with your guys. So let's go ahead and get into that one, man. We got a top 5. Y'all know I like
Hey,
top 5s, bro.
hey,
I do. We
I
got
like that list, baby. I like that list.
so top 5 players who put in that work this off season. And it's a good list. I really, and then it's a name on here that I think jumps off the screen immediately. But then there's a couple of them that if you don't know, you should get to know.
For sure.
So go ahead, bro. Start at the top. Tell
Yes,
us
sir.
why you picked whomever, and we'll work our way down to 5,
Okay.
and we'll have Bobby work through this list backwards and see what he likes.
Let's go, Bobby. I love it. Okay. So my number one, as soon as you mentioned this list to me, was Mataz Buselis. So he was my second favorite player in the draft last year, maybe third if you count Topic from Oklahoma City, because I loved him as well. Also, shout outs AJ Mitchell. I love him as well. So those are guys that I all loved. But Mataz, when I saw in preseason just the leap that he had taken, I mean, you're talking 6'9", can easily put it on the floor, 42-inch vertical, has all the handles, can shoot it from 3. But what I needed to see is he going to commit on the defensive end? Is he going to show that he can be that guy? Because once again, we talking about you can't just be offensive. So the defensive minded. First game comes out 3 blocks, 2 steals. He's averaging about a block and a half to 2 blocks per game, about a steal and a half. So I'm super impressed with that commitment to the other side of the floor. And obviously his offensive package, if you just watch, man, he breaks down. He's got everything. Back to the basket. He can go off the bounce. He can create off the step back, side steps, hesitations, get to the rim. He'll poke it on you. So he's incredible. Now, the next guy is somebody that I don't know if anybody even really knows.
This is a low key one, and Bobby probably likes this one as he is a Cleveland fan. Go ahead.
Hey, let's go, man. So Sam Merrill, he's somebody that I appreciate more so because I played a similar style role that he plays, where I just drew gravity on the. I knew that I could shoot the ball at a high clip. And when you look at this guy's jump shot, man, how you know guys are shooters is you get the net after the shot. And if the guy is consistently not touching the rim and it's just rip after rip after rip, you know the guy's the real deal. This dude is averaging 4.5 3-pointers made per game, second in the NBA to the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry. So shout out Sam Merrill, put in a ton of work. Now, this is my guy. Okay, so I'm a LeBron guy, so I've been on the Lakers. But I heard something mentioned earlier in the podcast about like a guy that came from nowhere. We're talking about a 0-star recruit. We're talking about a guy that had to transfer multiple times. We're talking about a guy that was undrafted, right? Austin Reeves is on a different level. Has shown that he could be primary option number 1 in small flashes. I think he can absolutely be a number 2 option in the NBA and be consistent. And maybe the best number 3 option in the entire NBA when LeBron comes back, averaging something crazy like 35.8 points or something crazy like that. And he's high in the assist mark, high in the rebounds. So Austin Reeves, what I love about him is he's got the swag and he's a competitor. He's shown that he's willing to guard. A few years ago in that series where they played against Golden State, he chased around Steph the whole time. So he showed that he's willing to do that. So I'm a big Austin Reeves guy. And that's why I like my son to watch a lot of Austin Reeves with the yo-yo and the different moves and the misdirection and the hezzies. He's great at his shoulder movement. You don't really think about that. But if he sees shoulder, he's going by you. And if he sees chest, he's changing direction. And it's hard to deal with that. So the next guy's a no-brainer. Leading the NBA in scoring, by the way. Before the NBA season, if you would have put a bet on this guy, I think the odds were like, he was like 100-1 to lead the NBA in scoring. So shout out to my guy, Tyrese Maxey, COVID year. If that didn't happen, I still think we win the championship. But I think Kentucky wins it every year. That's just who I am. But shout out to Tyrese Maxey. Has elevated his game to another clip, shooting 44% from 3-point. That's a different type of beast. If he keeps that up, it's not even going to be a question. He's already the fastest guard in the league with the ball in his hands. Super quick, super explosive. What is a underrated thing about Tyrese Maxey? His ability to finish. If you see some of these finishes that he's putting up, man, he's above the glass. He's hitting level 3, level 2, what we call it when we train. I mean, he's putting English on the ball like you've never seen. He is an absolutely special guy. And then shout outs to freak Zach LaVine, Mr. Consistent, one of the smoothest games in the NBA. Another great year, 31 points per game right now. Sacramento Kings are not that good. They're beat up a little bit. Sabonis is coming back from injury. But I am super impressed by Zach LaVine's game. He was a guy I was hoping the Lakers were going to get. Didn't think they had the money to be able to get him. But I think he could be one of the best number 2 options in the league. Averaged 25 plus for the Chicago Bulls multiple years. So just a smooth guy, man. So like we talked about privately, bro, I got about 15 other guys that I could shout out. But these were the guys that I felt like, made some real waves on my list. So I appreciate you letting me share that.
Hey, man, this was exactly what we needed from you, Dick. As I was reading the list, I was like, yo, Buzelis, like nobody talks about the way that the second tier baby Bulls are kind of
3-0, by the way.
Yeah, the second tier baby Bulls are making noise, even though it's a young season. We got to pay that attention. You know what I'm saying? Sam Merrill, I knew Bobby was gonna like that one. And then of course, as we got into it, Tyrese Maxey, Austin Reeves, Zach LaVine. Bobby, that list up, and I'm gonna put it back up for you. What name jumps out at you as somebody that we need to pay more attention to, bro?
Lil Boozy Vert. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a hooper. Like me and my friend, we used to joke. There's something coaches always say. If you pay attention to coaches on the sideline, they'll be like, "Hey, that kid's a player." You hear a coach say that, you got it, and he got it, man. Like he's almost like a modern day Tony Kukoc. But yeah, I love his game. I just hate that he's in Chicago and I got to see him like 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Modern day Tony Kukoc is a great pool, by the way. That is a freaking great pool.
Somebody, I like it, except I might take Zach LaVine down. Like I hate giving the older guys that. I mean, he's has time. I may swap Zach LaVine for Denny Avia. He's off to a great start.
Man.
Showing that he's finally learned adjusted to the NBA game and taking that step. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm good with the list. Obviously, I'm a Cavs fan.
I'm going to the guy too for sure.
I was going to say, Alan, like you take a peek at it. I know you know these names. Is there anybody that you might want to throw in there that you can tell to put in that work?
Like I'm happy with what Chicago's doing because they're slowly starting to build that team back up. They've been, obviously in the doldrums in the East for a while now. You're still a play-in contender, but you're still not above 500 quite yet. You're flirting around with it. You were the 8th seed last year, which you showed signs of improvement, and now starting off 3-0, got Giddey still there, who's playing well. And you build around and you build that team up. Chicago might be a dark sleeper pick in the East this year. Not saying that they're going to make a run, but don't sleep on Chicago this year.
Chicago or Charlotte?
And you took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to get into it, bro. For me, man, I want to just highlight some of the things that took place because we'll get into we'll get a little more in depth maybe on another episode because we're going to crack that first hour in a minute, Ev. But what it is I saw what the Denver Nuggets look like when they got a healthy Aaron Gordon, right? And he went out there and was knocking everything down. And of course, Aaron Gordon's a vet, but I think he was a part of what the Denver Nuggets system, because that's a system, what the system was missing last year when they didn't have him. And it looks so good. And don't get me wrong, you got Jokic out there. We know what that's going to look like. But putting Aaron Gordon out there, he's been catching 360 lobs. It's been looking real wild out there in Denver this past week. And then I got to give a shout out to a place where cats don't necessarily want to go. It's not the most sexy place to go play basketball, but Lauri Markkanen got 51. Y'all saw that?
I was going to say Lauri. Let's go. Replace LaVine with Lauri Markkanen, and that's the list.
Yeah, and maybe we put Lauri Markkanen down there, 51 points, and left Chicago because in Chicago they were trying to make him the centerpiece, and it didn't necessarily work. But now I think growing, just like we said, this European basketball players kind of growing into their own takes a couple of years. I think Lauri Markkanen is set to have a big year, and then of course he's going to have some.
Don't skip it.
Oh no!
Don't skip the lesson.
I was gonna get there. You know, Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? It happened, but then of course in Utah, you know, we're going to talk about Ace Bailey somewhere in our lives, and you know, Jay put that on. Shout out to Jay for putting me on. You know, we didn't get to see much of him, of course, because of the 1 year thing, and then we got to hear a little bit of the controversy because of what happened with him and his agent wanting to be a rapper. Whatever, it's not happening no more. But Utah is a place where they praise basketball players. I don't know if y'all know John Stockton and Karl Malone, but there were other guys on that team that if they walk into any bar in Utah, they get a drink. Just that point of sex of the world. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, you know, I think Ace Bailey and Lloyd Markin in that 1, 2, 3, 4, that 3, 4, 5, you could move them around. I think that'd be a big deal as well. What you was gonna say about Cleveland now, Bobby?
No, I was just saying don't skip that. That's like, I mean, I know he got loose in Utah because he's the man, but right. That transition started in Cleveland. Remember, we ran that starting 5 with him, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen together on the court. Lloyd was at the 3. That's when he started to get loose.
Right.
Imagine that now.
Unfortunately, I always heard. I wish we didn't have to include him in the Donovan trade because if we were able to keep him and Evan and we'd be lethal right now.
For sure.
Yeah, he definitely was one of the centerpieces. And then this is the last one, and I know everybody can pretty much chime in on this one. Alan, Bobby, Evan. If we take the spirit of Kevin Garnett, the skill set of Hakeem Olajuwon, and then we send him to China to be a Buddhist monk, what type of kaiju, Pokemon, evil anime character are we gonna have in Wembanyama this season, bro? Like, what are we really looking at here? As I've been amazed in this 2K created guy who grew 2 more inches. What are we having?
I mean, that's what we're talking about, man. I mean, when I saw the block off the backboard, transition, sham god, double tween, hezzy, in and out cross, tween behind, step back, and 1, I was over with. And then last night, on top of that, he hits the tween push cross, splits the double team in the screen, hits the behind the back on the next dribble, and then goes off 1 foot. Then he's got the other one with the behind to the tween wrap. I mean, Jamal crossover, baby. Like, shout outs Jamal crossover with the handle and getting Wemby right. But I'm going to say something. I've been talking about it around my gym, and I could be, just throwing some real crazy stuff out there, man. But you're talking about a guy that could be up there in that conversation, that could be at that table at the end of the day, if he does what he's supposed to do. If we look up in 5 years from now and he's got 4 Defensive Player of the Years and 3 MVPs, and he's happened to run off 2 rings already in an era which I think that is the most skilled we've ever seen. Shout outs to the guy from Jeff Hornacek from Utah, but that's who Michael Jordan was going against, right? LeBron had to go against Kevin Durant and Draymond Green. I don't want to get into that argument now. That's the time for another time. All right, but I'm just saying. But nah, I just throwing shade. I'm just kidding. But Wemby is he is a true alien, and I hope everybody appreciates it because the China visit got his mental right. KG got his defense, crossover got his handle, and Hakeem got his moves. And now he's dunking and putting his feet on the backboard, bringing the ball up the court, shaking dudes and shooting step back threes at almost damn near 8 foot tall. So what are we going to do with that?
I think there was somebody on this panel. I'm not sure who it was with. You might have to remind me that said that San Antonio might be a top 5 team in the West this year, potentially. So I don't like to brag or nothing, but
shout out to Allen, man. Shout out to Allen. They got a chance, man. They got a chance to win.
I really liked San Antonio this year. When I was figuring out, who are the top 5 teams in the West, it's so jumbled up. It's like you can throw anybody at that 5 spot. And I was like, you know what? San Antonio, they have a great shot this year. I think they could be a dark horse playoff team this year. Like,
come on, man. Other than OKC, who are you taking over them, man? Who are you taking over Wemby in a 7-game series? Not a healthy LeBron anymore. They might be the second best team in the West.
Second best team in the West.
I mean, we did see Houston already this year, and they took us to double overtime. So
for sure.
That Houston team has 5 7-footers on their starting
But
roster.
on
It's
a
like,
Shea off game though, 11 points, 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, ends up with 34. Like that's a Shea off game. I think Oklahoma City is the champ. I think Shea is the best player in the
and
world,
then he
and I
had
think people need to
55 the
give him a
next
shot.
night in another
Come
double
on,
overtime
come
game,
on,
which is
man,
crazy.
come on, man. Different animal, man. People need to give him his flowers now because that's one of the best guards we've seen ever.
Yeah, man. And listen,
SGA.
SGA, sir. Yes, sir, Bobby.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like
listen,
that.
I the thing I liked was I saw an interview with one of his teammates, and they were saying one of the teammates from the Canada team, matter of fact, and they were saying, "Yo, SGA is eating that loss in the Olympics like a man, and he's not happy." And I feel like he's going to show the NBA how unhappy he is, and then we'll get to LA in another 2.5 years. We'll see how.
And the thing I like about it too with Shea and everybody in OKC is they're having fun. They're having fun doing it. I mean, if you see the post games with OKC where they're draping practice towels over the exit interviewer and
Chemistry.
having fun with him, there's
Chemistry,
so
baby.
much chemistry between him and Chet and Jalen and the entire team. Really, that's why their bench is so good. Is because they believe in their bench guys too. Their bench guys are great.
Yeah.
And that goes farther than anything, having that chemistry, and not to mention that they have the number 6 pick in the draft just waiting to come back from being hurt, who could be in a complete difference maker. I mean, you're talking about a team that's set up. That's why I think OKC and San Antonio are set up best moving forward. It's just, and one more shout out. Can we give my guy James Harden a shout out this year? He's balling again, man. Come on now. Over 10 assists again. Had a 50-point game the other day, or a 40-point game the other day. I mean, balling, man. One of the greatest scorers, ISO scorers that we've seen, man. Let me ask you guys a question real quick, and I don't want to throw anybody off. How are we feeling about prime Harden versus prime Shea?
Ooh. Wow.
I mean, it's a no contest. James Harden don't play defense.
Okay, I love it. There you go, Bobby. Shout out to Bobby, man. I love it.
If we're just scoring,
if it's just scoring, it's James Harden, but James Harden don't play defense.
Yeah.
If you just having a
the
shooting
best player
contest,
never to win a ring.
No.
Okay.
I still gotta go. I still think
as long as you keep him out of the LA strip club scene, I think he'll be fine.
Houston strip club scene is what turned him out. He was
man. He went crazy in H-Town.
Yeah.
You take the guy out of Oklahoma, he goes crazy.
Listen,
sure. I'm looking at you, Kevin Durant.
And I'm one of those. Sure. And I'm one of those people, bro. In a couple years, I can't wait to see what Sam Presti's going to do with these picks. He's not going to need them. He's not going to need them. They will be obsolete. Why? Because we will have 12, 10, at least 10 players who are worth their salt that you don't have to pay because they'll all be on rookie contracts. And then we could just slowly delve away picks.
And to think this all happened because the Clippers didn't see anything in SGA and thought, hey, we can win right now if we team up Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
If only
franchise, man. What a franchise.
This whole thing started because of the LA Clippers.
And let's not sleep now. The Clippers right now.
And before that, one of the picks we got from the Clippers was J-Dub too. So
it was the Clippers gave away a lot. The Clippers franchise has been giving away their game, ever since they decided to pick up Michael Oliver Candy somewhere in the street. That's how long that's been happening for the Clippers. But for right now, I'm excited to see a healthy Kawhi. Kawhi, y'all. I don't know if you know, okay, but Kawhi is dangerous when he's healthy. A healthy Embiid eventually with VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey. I'm interested in that. And then with Florida, my Florida teams, you know what I'm saying? The Heat, we got to see what kind of, if the Heat make a move and get Bam out of there, what are they going to do? And then Paolo Banchero and the Orlando Magic, Desmond Bane, coming into his own. I'm excited about that, And my last one. Am I the only one that is excited to see how long we get to see a healthy Zion? I don't know if he turned vegan or if he stopped You know, if he stopped
Hanging out with strippers.
calls or something, you know, you're hanging.
No.
Once again, New Orleans, we know Zion had his business in the streets, so Zion had to
For
stop.
sure.
But I'm excited to see a healthy Zion this week, guys. You know, we're getting to the top of that first hour. Anything else we want to kick at Evan? Who I am so glad got to come through and drop some knowledge with us before he has got to skate out.
Thankful.
Yeah, no, it's great listen to him, man. I'd love to have a conversation with him. Like this, you know, I get excited when I'm talking about ball. So I had to hop in late though because of practice. But today's last game this weekend, so no more practices till next year.
Hey, Bobby, no more practices. Yes, we get Bobby
till the spring. But where are you located, Evan?
I live in Jacksonville, man. So I would love to have a conversation too, brother. I appreciate you, man. I love your energy. And this was an unbelievable opportunity. I would love to come on again if you guys ever need me. And I really just appreciate this. This was a lot of fun. This is what I do all the time. And this is what I love to do, man. Let's talk ball 24/7. That's what we do.
Yeah. Definitely converse on that SGA best ever to that. Ooh.
Oh, no. Just
one of
the got a chance to be. I just think that, you know, a lot of people are frustrated and want to try to blame the foul baiting stuff and everything like that. And that's a whole topic for another conversation. But I think the skill of his shot making, I think he's more of an old school style player. He reminds me a little bit of MJ as far as how he uses his body to be able to get to his shots in the mid-range area. And so I'm just a real big fan of the art. And I just think that he is one of the best artists, man. I'm blown away by him and his ability. I loved him at Kentucky, and he's literally gotten better every single year. So I just think he's got a chance to be an all-timer. Obviously, it takes a lot to crack into that list, but I like his trajectory right now.
Man, sure. And you are not alone.
Thank you, LA Clippers. Thank you, LA Clippers.
I was just about to say, Alan is extremely excited about his evolution, as are we as fans of the game, man. Oh, bro, we are going to bring you back. That is not a question, Evan. Do you got anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to go ahead and show some love to right quick before you get out of there?
Oh my gosh, man, I could do 1,000 things. I think the most important thing always is just my family, brother. So my wife Michelle, we're expecting our third baby. It's been a little bit of a tough one. Thank you, brother. It's been a little bit of a tough one for her. So she's a trooper, man. And then my two boys, Ace and Blaze, I just love them very much. And then just shout out my organization and everybody's involved. P5 Athletics, we, break every huddle with family. And, we're trying to be the Gucci, the Saint Laurent. We're trying to separate ourselves and not just be the Nike or the Adidas that everybody can buy. We want to be a special place that only special people come and people come to become special as well. So I'm thankful for that. Shout out, obviously my Lord and Savior, man. Shout out God always, bro. Thankful that we could, be in this place because of him. And I love the shout out that you gave at the beginning and just very thankful for you guys, man. So thank you for this opportunity.
Hey, man, bro. First of all, we are thankful for you taking some time out your busy schedule. We are definitely going to bring you back in. You got to tell us before you go, but if there are 5 Ps, what are the 5 Ps for P5 Athletics?
So it's positive preparation produces peak performance. I'm a very positive person for the most part. I try to be, and I just know that that when you approach things in that mindset, that you have an opportunity to grow and get better from it, instead of the obviously the latter and being negative. So just very thankful to be able to do that and be able to do what I'm doing and love my kids, love my job. Can't believe I get to do basketball for a living. So if I wasn't going to be in the NBA, I wanted to be around basketball no matter what. So very, very blessed and thankful I get to do it daily.
Hey, bro, with that attitude, with the skill set, with what you got going on, with the foundation you started with P5, even though you're not in the league, you're going to be in the hearts and minds of the players that get there. And I promise you, bro, it's happening. I see it for you. And if I can do anything about it, we're going to spread the word. Make sure you follow my guy, Evan Wheeler, at P5 Athletics. That's right here on the Instagram. Get your phone out. Go ahead. Get into it right now, because when you come down to North Jacksonville and you have you a little jit, like they say down here, you go with the trader, man. Evan, man, we appreciate you, bro. Thank you again for dropping in. And we're gonna revisit these topics and these guys at the court. All right, bro.
I can't wait, man. Bobby, Allen, Witt, thank you guys again, man. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed night. Whenever you need anything, you just let me know, man. I'm one call away, so I appreciate it.
For sure. I already gave you the follow on IG. So
man. Shout out. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. You guys let me know. Okay. Thank you. Can't wait to do it again.
Already, brother. Thanks so much, man. Tell your wife, hey man, congratulations on the new baby. We love if you ask me and Bobby about anything, we love it when somebody else has a baby.
Hey, well, listen, brother, real quick before I get off, I'm going to have a gender reveal at my facility in early December. So I'll shoot you the invite. And if you want to pop in, man, we're going to have like a cool little environment and everything. So you can come by, meet some of my people, man. And you get some food, get some coffee, do some different things, man, and hang out with us for a little bit.
I'm here, dog. It's over.
How much does a plane ticket to Jacksonville cost?
Hey, come on, baby. Come on, man. You can hang out. I got a sauna in my gym. I got everything y'all need, man. Y'all can hang out. Y'all can make it a one-stop shop, brother, whatever you need.
Listen, Jay is going to be on the road. Oh, don't trust the strippers in New Orleans. Jay's going to be on the road. He's going to be. He might swing through Oklahoma and pick Allen up, and then stop in Jacksonville by December, man. So we appreciate
man.
it. Like, I'm popping up on you, bro. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a blessed one.
Already. Man, what a great interview that was. Oh, yeah, we did it. First of all, shout out to our guy, Evan from P5. Once again, a great interview. The NBA is bringing out the best in Rec Room. So thank you for stopping in. But we got through the first hour, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This is the Rec Room Sports Hub. We will be continuing on as planned. But real quick, we got to go ahead and make sure we get everybody acquainted with the people on the set. AP, Allen, you one of the guys. Tell us what you do, bro.
So normally we would have on the mat tonight, but we're actually going to do it tomorrow night, right after the baseball show. So we got the baseball show. Of course, we got World Series going on right now. It is now tied 2-2. Blue Jays did win today. So after that crazy game 3 last night, so we're tied 2-2. One more game left. One more game left in the LA, and then they go back to Toronto for game 6. So, and then we'll talk wrestling with my guy, Mr. First Down, and Jay with the jokes. Yeah, it's what you get for saying we want Dallas. So that's all I'm going to say. Anyway, lock it in on Saturday and Sunday as well here on the Rec Room. Saturday, college football, Sunday, NFL, and then Sunday night post game, which somebody's Commanders day are playing on Sunday night this week against Seattle. So we'll be recapping that game, myself and Scott, after the game ends. So,
all right, and then of course, Bobby G, man, you got a lot going on. You know, say you wear many hats, bro. Tell us people all about what you got going on.
Yeah, you want to hear me? Catch me Thursday night. We got the Audible Thursday night post game show with me, April the Jess Girl, and your boy Wildcard Mar. Then of course Fridays, the original Audible Sports podcast where sports meets life and culture. It was last week we did a recasting. We recasted the movie Harlem Nights and the movie Life.
What? I missed that one.
Yeah, had to go back and check it out, man. We had some fun doing that. This week, don't know yet. We'll figure it out. You know, we always get it together. And of course, Mondays and Wednesdays at 2:16 Eastern, me and Big Mike from the Man Cave, we get together and for Game Time 216. That's all Cleveland all day. You know, and now this basketball season, we got something to talk about because them damn Browns, boy, I tell you.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for the Browns right now in the streets, bro. I can't lie to you. Man, and then of course we can't forget about our friend in the back. We know her for a lot of things, and we're going to talk about 2 of them in just a moment. So I hope she's ready to go. Miss Jess Girl, hey Miss April, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Okay, so April, as you know, we just had Mr. Evan Wheeler on the show, repping their P5 Athletics. You know, is there a players or basketball somewhere in there that you wanted to squeeze in? Because I meant to ask you because I did see you had a question or 2 if he coached anything else. He seems like he could coach damn near anything with his attitude, right?
No. Funny story. At work today, me and one of the attorneys were talking about baseball and how it seems to be that they're trying to get more players to be 2-way players, and they're stopping them from being just a 1-way player. So that's why I wanted to know if he coached anything else, because I kind of wanted to get his thoughts. But yeah.
Hey, well, you know, we'll definitely bring you in on the next one, because Evan is definitely going to be back. So everybody, repping P5 Athletics, we appreciate you staying and hanging around for the Rec Room Sports crew. We're going to go ahead and get into our regular lineup, man. So yesterday we had some things go on that kind of just leaked over into today, like magically, because of course, even though it was on the West Coast, people was up on the East Coast watching it until it's ended. And Alan did a great job of kind of lining it up for me. So let's go ahead and get right into it, y'all. 18 innings, 6 hours, 39 minutes, and an instant classic in Game 3 of the World Series. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've been living under a rock or somehow, some way, if you didn't know, the Dodgers, or like Poppy would say, like the Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays are in the middle of a heated battle where they're going two. What is it, 2-2, Alan, right now?
It is
Yeah,
after
2-2.
tonight. After
Yeah.
tonight, yes,
They're
it is
tied.
2-2. Toronto won 6-2 tonight. So
Wow, yeah. So this is going. They're 2-2 right now after this game tonight. Well, it's crazy because I was seeing the stat line on my phone while I was watching the end of the the Commanders game, and I was like, bro, I can't stay up for this. But it kept. I felt like it went on forever. So of course, Miss Averill, our resident baseball head, and of course, we got Alan in the building. I wish we had Uncle Scott too or Tanner. But hey, you guys, go ahead and kick it for me and let us know what night in Game 3 of the World Series.
what didn't happen in this game? This is a game that every diehard baseball fan would kill to see every now and then, because it had a little bit of everything. You had the drama, you had the different lead changes, extra inning drama, a lot of great defensive plays by both teams last night late in that game when you just thought, okay, you're going to get a quick first to third. Nope, you're going to get put out at third. Nope, you're going to get thrown out at home. We're not going to score for the next 9 innings until we get to inning 18. Until Freddie Freeman was like, you know what? I got 2 kids at home I got to go take care of. I'm going to go ahead and hit this game winner out in right center. We're going to go ahead and head home for the night. But yeah, it was an instant classic. It was phenomenal. Loved every second of it. Went back and watched as much of the game as I could because, man, a 6-hour game can drain on you a little bit. But and I know this is what the baseball heads don't want to have. They don't want to have these 6-hour games, but hey, that's what makes them instant classics, especially in the postseason. This is what you want as a baseball fan. You want these long, dragged-out games where everything's on the line. And both teams showed out and played well last night. So,
and see, personally, this is why I don't like pitch clock, because I feel like the pitch clock has shortened the game. So I love super long games with extra innings that take forever to wrap up. So it was perfect for me.
If not for the pitch clock, it probably would have been maybe a 9-hour game. 8-9-hour game.
Yeah. But so fun fact, the other 18 inning World Series game had the same person singing the national anthem. Brad Paisley sung the national anthem for the last 18 inning World Series game.
So basically, what you're saying is Brad plays and he sits his ass down during the World Series for the rest of his life.
Now I don't know if he sang it any other time, but it just happened to be that the other 18 inning World Series game also had the Dodgers in it as well.
Yeah, Dodgers, Red Sox in that. What was it? 18 runs for each team shootout.
Yep.
Nuts.
So I don't know how many times he sang the national anthem, but just weirdly enough, both 18 inning games, he sang the national anthem.
And both were in LA too, which is even crazier.
Now, the wild thing that I had to do was I had to somewhat watch MLB Network, watch everything else, go find all of these stats because it was so much being discussed this morning when I finally got up. Because I'm a dad with kids, so somewhere around like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'm up and I'm looking at sports and I'm like, why are they talking about this like this just ended? And it literally just going off of the screen when it was happening. But of course, we got to give it up, man. Shohei Ohtani, right? 4 for 4, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, 5 walks, ended up on base 9 times. Am I not mistaken? Is that correct?
Yeah.
9 times.
Safely reached base 9 times.
Okay, so the other thing that I had to think about was the equivalent or someone who might have seen that much work reaching base and probably did less work, got to be like Barry Bonds, right? Because they probably walked Barry every time he stepped up to the plate. But Shohei's actually out here making contact with the ball and putting it in play, right?
I think if you go, I think there was one inning. I can't remember what inning it was. I think it was like 13 or 14 where they had given up a double to start off the inning. There were 2 out. They had 2 outs and they gave up a double. They intentionally walked both Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani, and they're like, neither y'all are beating us. And Freddie came up and ended up popping out to end the inning, which he ended up redeeming himself in the 18th with the walk-off homer. But this is the strategy that people use with guys like Shohei Ohtani, even Aaron Judge in big games like this. We're not letting this guy beat us. Yeah. And that's been the mentality for Toronto so far in this series. We are not letting Shohei Ohtani after 1 home run is okay, but after the second one, you're like, okay, we're done pitching to this guy. We're gonna just take your base. Go on.
It was terrible. It's like you're literally seeing like the best and the worst out of baseball. Because I hate it so much. Like, and I wish there was a way around it, but there's no way around it because you can't tell what's intentional and what's not. Like, let that dude swing the bat. It's the reason why I despise the Anaheim Angels. That's Barry Bonds' reign. And because y'all want to be, I don't have a safe word. Y'all want to be punks and not pitch to the dude. The wrong people got rings. That's all I'm saying. So
they're paying for it though, because their organizations in the
they're in purgatory forever. Right about now.
You literally had Mike Trout and Shohei on your roster and couldn't even get to the playoffs with both of those guys on rosters. You
couldn't sniff the playoffs.
Yeah, so it's like you're seeing the best, you're seeing the game played, but it's like, come on, man. Pitch. Every other sport, there's no ducking in any other sport but baseball.
And so this is what I was saying to Whit earlier. That's the issue that I have when Judge plays. What would the numbers actually be if they pitched him and they didn't intentionally walk him? Because they intentionally walked Judge more than they intentionally walked Shohei. So what would the numbers actually be if they would stop all these intentional walks? I think Babe's Ruth numbers would be done. Like all those records he still holds, I think all his numbers would be done if they would stop intentionally walking players like Ohtani and Judge. I'm just saying.
I mean, it was such a running gag in baseball. They intentionally walked him in the home run derby. They intentionally walked Barry Bonds in the home run derby, which was hilarious.
Yeah, they was tripping on that. Now, in my mind, and I understand this, and even as a novice baseball analyst, strategy is a huge part of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So not pitching to him, but letting him get on base, and then not pitching to Mookie Betts and letting him get on base. I don't know if that's a good strategy. Is that saying the next? That's kind of like if I was the next batter, I would be like, "Oh, y'all really playing me? Like I'm really not about to hit this joint, and they not about to come home." I would think that
in that part of the Dodger lineup, it's hard because you've got Mookie there, you've got Shohei there. Freddie's probably the guy you probably pitch to out of that grouping, and then Teoscar in the back end who can pop off. But that's a tough decision to. It's like, okay, who are we going to actually throw at? Because there's 4 guys coming up that can kill us in any way, shape, or form.
Right, take
the line out. Take the line out of it. So let's not even talk about the lineup. Just look at who you're putting on base. Yes, Judge can steal. He's okay. But I would rather intentionally walk Judge because he's not going to steal as much. Ohtani had the record for stealing bases last year. Why would you keep intentionally walking him knowing he's really good at stealing bases?
He almost stole one last night. He only got caught because he came off the back.
Yeah, he overstepped. I saw
So going back to you're talking about a strategy. Okay, I can see it being a good strategy for Judge because he doesn't steal as many bases, and that's just a Yankees thing in general.
Yeah.
But Shohei, he steals bases. So strategy wise, that still doesn't even. I mean,
Well, I got. You want to make a strategy? I got strategy for you, baseball. Any 4-0 at bat is 2 bases.
Ooh, we had to take that away.
Now you got to at least put 1 in the zone.
You got
to at least put 1 in the zone. Let them try and catch 1.
Right. Yeah, that'll definitely scare him away from that one. And I would be remiss to not talk about anything that the Blue Jays did. So let's go ahead and give that one to shout out to Alejandro Kirk with the clutch 3-run hitter. That was in the 4th inning. You know, of course, that kind of mellowed out the Dodger crowd. I got a chance to see that when I wrote that one down in my notes. But then some of the lows that took place now, you know, the Blue Jays stranded 15 runners. They couldn't capitalize on some late inning chances, and that is a big deal. You know, George Springer's injury, he exited the game in the 7th inning with an apparent issue, you know, which was a huge blow to Toronto's lineup. Bo Bichetti got picked off at first base. I don't know. You know, leaving. You know, everybody knows Vlad, little Vlad, not Big Vlad, was extremely visibly upset. So you gotta know that they're feeling the opportunity slip away, and then somehow, some way, Brandon Little, you know, gave up the walk-off homer to my guy Freeman. You know, it's one of those things where we know Freddie Freeman is in the lineup. In the 18th inning, are we thinking not Freddie Freeman again, or the other way, like Freddie Freeman again? You know what I'm saying? So it really depends on who you are, what side you're on, whether you're going for the Dodgers or you're going for the Blue Jays. Whether you feel for Freddie Freeman, of course, everybody knows Freddie Freeman's is, you know, a story,
Dodgers
not a lot of history.
are lucky to even have Freddie Freeman, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Dodgers, because really he should still be in Atlanta. He should still be in Atlanta Braves.
Straight out of a Braves uniform into a situation that players would kill for, where you might as well say he's wrapping up another pennant right now.
Yeah.
But so pause. So pause. Go back real quick. There were 37 runners stranded on base between the two teams. 37. That is the most ever in a postseason game.
Mm-hmm.
37.
37. Imagine the points. imagine the points if this was basketball or something like that. Yeah, 37, bro. That's crazy.
And I will say this concerning George Springer. It's 2025. All that stuff that happened back in 2017. It's time to move on. Like, Dodgers fans are so distasteful for what they've done to George Springer in this series. This is why I hate Dodger fans. Dodger fans are – I hate them. I'm not going to say it on live air, but it's time to move on. All the rest of the country's moved on. I know anytime anybody plays the Houston Astros, they still hold the vendetta. But it's been 8 years. It's been 8 years. Let's move on. It's enough of this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and guess what, Alan? In the spirit of moving on,
I'm a Rangers fan. I hate the Astros, so
you missed
it's time to move on.
You missed the gong. In the spirit of moving on, we're gonna move on, man, and we're gonna go ahead and get to our next topic. Make sure you check in with us as we continue to go forward. The MLB postseason is something that we have to pay attention to, even if it goes into the wee hours of the night. Somebody's got to pay attention to it. Thank you, Miss April, for bringing it to my attention earlier today. I'm glad we got a chance to talk about that for sure. But last weekend, another exciting weekend of NCAA football took place, and our guy AP Alan Perales took notes on everything. So, Alan, you know what time it is, bro. You got your top 5 list, man. So go ahead and give it to us. Tell us what you got from this past week in NCAA college football.
Oh, boy. What can I say about the SEC right now? You've already got 3 coaches fired. There's a potential that half the conference could be losing their coaches by the end of the season, or at least that's what I'm hearing. Texas and Alabama somehow survive getting outplayed and outgunned by two lower level SEC teams and somehow continue to keep the horseshoe up their butt. But yeah, hey, Kalen DeBoer has proven why he was the right guy for the job at this point. He's doing a great job in year 2 with Alabama. And there's now talk Steve Sarkisian might be wanting to go to the NFL. And there's all the drama with Lane Kiffin and everything that happened with them in Oklahoma this week. I don't know. The SEC is complete chaos. Meanwhile, you could potentially have 3 ACC teams get into the postseason, and that would kill the SEC vibes so much. I mean, I'm hoping that happens, but I don't think it will. Speaking of chaos, Group of 5 chaos. Memphis with the upset over South Florida this week puts them right back in conversation. I believe they are ranked 25th in the AP poll, which they would be the Group of 5 representative in college football going forward. There's still a lot of football to be left to be played. You still have undefeated Navy who can come out of the American. Surprisingly enough, they got a tough matchup with Notre Dame here coming up. A lot of chaos going on in the American Conference right now, and you have UNLV who lost to Boise State last week, so they're pretty much out of it. You've got Hawaii, who's still only a 1-loss team in conference. That could be something that happens. There's a lot of Group 5 teams this year that kind of piqued my interest. And that brings us to the third one, the weekday classics. There's been a lot of good one-score games that are not happening on Saturdays. For those who don't know, we're in the part of the season where you're going to see football all 7 days. Like, there's a game going on right now. It's with the team that I'll get to here in just a second, but you're starting to see it's what we like to call on Lock It In Maction Week, where all the MAC teams play throughout the week. You're also getting Conference USA teams playing. You get a lot of these smaller Group of 5 conferences playing during the week, and you're getting great football. And I think it gets overlooked because, obviously the national media, we want to focus on SEC, Big Ten, the top tier teams, how are they playing, how they do it. But we're missing out on some great football during the week. A lot of great games we get to watch on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of every week. So speaking of those Group of 5 teams, one of them last year, Kennesaw State, was a 2-10 program, probably the worst, if not the second worst team in college football last season. They're 5-3 with 0 losses in Conference USA this year. That is quite the turnaround, and I think it's not really getting talked about a lot. Obviously, again, no national media. We're not talking about an SEC or anything. But Kennesaw State, what a turnaround that they've gone through. They're 5-2 right now, 3-0 in Conference USA, and they are 33-20 right now. They're 33-20, so they're about to get win number 6. So they'll have 3 times as many wins as they did last year.
That's crazy. Did they get a new coach or anything? Or
I don't know if they did. I don't think they did. I think they just got a lot of good lot of good hits in the transfer portal this year. So
the information that I received is that Kennesaw State is still under the same culture regime, and they have not changed coaches.
And another team too, James Madison. This is only their 3rd year in FBS, I believe. James Madison only 3 years in the FBS. They're 6-1, 4-0 in conference. They could be one of those teams that sneaks into the college football playoff if these American teams beat each other up. Like, I feel like, first year they were undefeated. They weren't eligible for a playoff or any bowl game because of first year in the league. I don't get why the NCAA does that. Why not just let these teams play in bowl games? If you're not going to have a 12-0 team be in a bowl game, then I have no idea what you're doing as a league. But Kennesaw State, James Madison, great turnaround from Kennesaw State. It's and there's only a minute left in the game, so they've officially won their sixth game of the season by a 13-point margin. So
I gotta throw this in
That's
real quick.
crazy.
I gotta throw this in there real quick because I knew the name, but I did not know the information. So thank you, Alan, for bringing this up because I gotta say this. So Jerry Mack joined Kennesaw State in December of 2024. But prior to that, he was the head coach of North Carolina Central. That's right, a MEAC school, a HBCU of all places, from 2014 to 2017, where he won 3 MEAC titles. And recently served as running backs coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the NFL. So Coach Jerry Mack has been getting around a little bit, but he may have found a home in at Kennesaw State. So from the MEAC to the MAC, right? So shout out to him.
yeah, I mean they're Conference USA, but still the same thing.
Yeah, mountains of Kennesaw. That makes more sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. This was a 2-win team last year. This is a 2-win team, and they're on the verge of winning their 6th game this season, and could potentially win the Conference USA championship this year. Like, that's insane. That's insane for a 2-10 team last year. Kudos to what they've done. Kudos to what they built in just a year's time with that program. More than just academics, our final topic, and then we kind of touched on this last week. Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, Indiana. All these schools known for their academics. Indiana known for basketball. Vanderbilt sometimes in baseball. Georgia Tech, they're kind of a mixed bag here and there, but not really known athletically in some instances. You've had some good Georgia Tech teams in the past. I mean, we've had some great players. The late Demaryius Thomas, a former Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, in his own right. But now, these are 3 of the best teams in the country. Indiana's the number 2 team in the country. Vanderbilt's in the top 10. Georgia Tech, I believe they're also in the top 10. These teams are good. Georgia Tech does not have to play Miami or Virginia, who are their two teams of competition. They don't have to play either of those teams the rest of the year. Although the one game that they still have to worry about is Georgia at the end of the year. But at that point, they'll probably already have a lock in the ACC championship game. Indiana.
Georgia Tech's 8, Vandy's 9.
Shout out to Vandy.
How about Diego Pavia? How about what he's done to turn that program around? What their head coach has done to turn that program around? And now I hope it continues. I hope it continues because they have to go to Austin this week, and I hope they beat the brakes off of Texas. I would laugh hysterically if that happens.
Of course you would.
Can you imagine Vanderbilt in the SEC right now? The two teams who would be Alabama would be one of them because they did beat Vandy. But if Alabama does lose a conference game, the 2 teams we would be talking about in the SEC championship game would be Texas A&M and Vanderbilt.
Texas A&M.
Like that's unheard of.
I don't know how to feel about that. As someone who's been an SEC fan for 20-something years now, I really don't know how to feel about that.
Because Vanderbilt was the lowest form on the totem pole, the lowest team on the totem pole for years. There was a stretch for like 4 or 5 years where they didn't win a single conference game. Now it seems like they can't lose a conference game.
It's so hard to even wrap my head around how good Vandy is.
Yeah.
I mean, you held a pretty good Missouri offense to 10 points last week.
Wow. Okay.
I know their quarterback got hurt, which was a part of the reason why, but you still held a pretty good Missouri offense to 10 points last week. And now you're coming against a Texas team that has not looked good on offense all year. It's going to be an interesting.
And isn't Arch still in concussion protocol? Or did he clear concussion protocol yet?
Oh, he played last week, so yeah, he cleared it.
Yeah, he's
okay.
Well, you know,
they came back and won. They came back and beat Mississippi State, which I did not like that. But
of course you didn't like that.
But I think the most surprising though is Indiana to me, because we kind of saw bits and pieces with Diego Pavia went to Vanderbilt. We kind of saw the potential of what Vanderbilt could be if they had the resources and the necessity. Georgia Tech, we've seen the last couple of years of Georgia Tech of how they kind of. Did anybody really think it? And last year, everybody was like, "Oh, Indiana, that's a fluke season. They're not gonna be back." Well, yep. Guess what? They're back. They're back here. They're the number 2 team in the country, and they beat Oregon. So they've proven they can beat big teams now.
For sure. Yeah. What you was gonna say, Ava?
So go back to Diego for a second. So, and I know we're gonna talk about this later. We're still gonna have the number 1 draft pick because we just suck, and I'm okay with that. That's who I want. I've seen him in person. I want Diego. How do you pronounce his last name?
Pavia.
I'm going to butcher it. Yes. That's who I want as my quarterback when we have the number 1 draft pick. Like, that's who I want. And I hope they're watching film on him because I know they were at the Indiana game. They need to go to the Vandy games. Every Vandy game, they need to be sending scouts to watch Diego play because, and you know how hard it is for me to say that as a Carolina fan? I watch Vandy games now just to see him play because he's that good and I like him as a quarterback that much.
Or as some Vandy fans have now coined the phrase, "My sweet baby boy Diego."
Well, on that note, as we have covered all of college football, thank you both, April and Alan.
Also, Brian Kelly got fired. I don't know if I mentioned that, but
yeah, you know,
three SEC firings. We could potentially have Mark Stoops, Hugh Freeze. Sorry, Abel, but even Shane Beamer's on the hot seat at this point. Brent Venables. Like I said, half the SEC could be looking for a head coach next year.
Half of the SEC. And you know, since firing is the new.
Hold on. Let me give my 2 cents on my Gamecocks real quick. I don't think that. I think Shane Beamer should be on the hot seat. I don't think that he should be fired just yet. If he does not get rid of Frank Shula, if he does not fire him, then yes, Shane Beamer needs to be fired because Frank Shula got to go. But if he fires him and fixes our offense, even though we're having a bad season, I'm okay with not firing him if he fires Shula. Okay. Otherwise, Beamer's got to go.
And of course, anytime an SEC job opening comes up, the first name that pops up is Lane Kiffin. So
Lane Kiffin, of course, Lane Kiffin.
Although I have heard somebody say that, I don't know why. I heard somebody say Lincoln Riley should take the LSU job just to spite OU fans. I'm like, no.
They throwing up John Gruden's name out here out of nowhere too. So let's get that straight. But hey, you know what? Close it out like this, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Kelly was fired, okay? And he will continue to receive, get this, a whopping $800,000 per month. Okay, while LSU tries to figure out the $53 million negotiation, he was guaranteed $9.6 million annually. The buyout's $53 million. So what's going to happen is they're going to be breaking that down, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, breaking it down, and somehow, some way, it's going to be happening for the rest of his life. So Brian Kelly don't got to do nothing. He's just going to be raking in $800,000 per month. I would go, Bobby. Would you go away? Would you leave your office for $800,000?
No.
Wow.
Speaking of college football, Tanner just texted me in our Lock It In group chat two of his plays for tomorrow. Jacksonville State over Jackson State -6. I believe that's what the number is. Or Jacksonville State. They're playing Middle Tennessee. They're only a 6-point favorite. Right now it's 5.5. It's -5.5 for Jacksonville State. So, yeah, definitely like that pick there. And then Florida International against Missouri State tomorrow. One of his picks is Missouri State. So I like Missouri State too. So I like both of those.
Shout out to those middle of the week games, which we very seldom get to hear about, but are being talked about on Lock It In. So one time for the guys from Lock It In, everybody.
We love small schools on Lock It In. Small schools, especially when basketball season starts. All small schools.
Shout out to Lock It In. That's right. Make sure you check them out on Saturdays and Sundays between the hours about 9 and 10. They try to get everybody informed before you got to set your lineups and everything. So let's go ahead and keep it moving. Guys, it has been week 8, if I'm not mistaken, in the NFL, and there have been a couple of really surprising developments, and some stuff we knew and some stuff we didn't know was going to happen. And of course, we're going to pretty much get into all of that. When are we going to pretty much signify what it is to be the MVP in the NFL? We're not going to get too deep into it because right now we've got players who are quarterbacks who are fitting the criteria, but then we have one. That's right. We have one who is a non-quarterback who could possibly be in the ballpark for MVP, who is definitely in the position to make running backs get paid again. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about none other than the Colts running back, Jonathan Taylor. So out of nowhere, we got the Colts actually prevailing and doing well. And we had a spirited argument between Bobby and our guy Jay about Daniel Jones and his supporting cast and whether it was not the best since he's been in the NFL, which of course he comes from the New York Giants, and now he's playing for the Colts. Now, there was a very high ceiling for Saquon in the Giants uniform, and I think he reached it. I think to a degree, Jonathan Taylor is ascending just a little bit past that same mark, just to give a little bit of edge on whose team was better. So with 3 touchdowns in 3 straight games against against really quality teams right now, Jonathan Taylor has made some history. We can't forget about what's going on in Buffalo. Of course they beat the Panthers. It was 40-0. Yeah, but the Buffalo Bills are still going to be the Buffalo Bills. Patrick Mahomes, we saw that yesterday where they got the whole roster finally. So guys, let's talk about that really quickly. Just throw a little light on it. No shade, Jay. Absolutely no shade. But yesterday on Monday Night Football, we witnessed the return of Rashee Rice to the lineup for the Kansas City Chiefs, and it looked like a totally different roster. Are we prepared to give the mantle to the Kansas City Chiefs once again as the best team in the NFL, just with one sample size? What do you think about that? Of course, I see Miss April's face. Bobby G, what do you think about that?
I want to hear what April got to say first. That face was like, yeah.
The best team? No. A good team? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The best team? No.
No. Okay. Gotcha. Not the best team. Okay. What about you, Alan? What are you thinking as far as KC and they're showing yesterday the new high-powered offense, all the speed, all of the pieces are back. Travis Kelce looked pretty good. Did a little dance for his girl on camera. How do you feel about that, bro?
I mean, we've seen this song and dance so many times. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know. It's all going to depend on what happens in the playoffs. What Chiefs team is going to show up? Is it going to be this Kansas City Chiefs team or the Chiefs team that we saw in the Super Bowl last year? Because looking at their own division also. Looking at their own division also, you have the Chargers, who, if they continue to play well, they'll be a tough test. And everybody saw what the Broncos did to us this past Sunday, right?
Oh, yeah.
Even without Patrick Surtain. So
So yeah, speaking of what happened with Dallas, we got a caller joining the group right now. So one of the time for one of our guys, one of our favorite guys, we got to give it up for my people, Jerry from Dallas. Jerry from Dallas.
How you doing? This is Jerry from Dallas, Alan. What do you think of our team this week?
Defense sucks. Fire Eberflus, please.
Oh, you know we can't do that. We're all in for this year.
Of course. Hey,
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey man, well thanks again for joining us, Uncle Scott, who also likes to play Jerry, man. We appreciate you for jumping in. I know you're working, man. And since you are working, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it right on you, big guy. So are you now excited about the development of your Patriots, man? Let's get them a shout out real quick. We never really get to have you on the show, so we're gonna throw it right to you, bro. Patriots beat the Browns. Tell us why you're right now.
I'm not excited at all. No, the season's not over yet. I mean, 6-2, great, but look at the schedule they played. They hadn't been very good. So I'm happy that Drake May has come along like he has.
Right.
But I just think there's still a long season to go, and we've seen it in the NFL before. Things can turn on a dime. It's a week-to-week league. I mean, the Falcons look great the week before against Buffalo, and then they go out to San Francisco, terrible. They come home from Miami, awful. So it's a week-to-week league. It's not something. You're 6-2 now. Even Vrabel said it today. 6-2, it's gotten you nothing. It's gotten you nothing. So you got to keep winning. You got to keep putting pressure on Buffalo to win. You got to keep putting pressure on the rest of these teams, Indianapolis and so forth. So.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right about that. It's a
Patriots and Colts leading their divisions. What year are we in? 2004.
Yeah, roll Brady and Manning out in the wheelchairs and have them play.
Hey, look, and trust me, if you really put the ball in front of Brady and Manning, they will go at it. And right now, so of course you mentioned it. We still got some really tough teams. Denver right now with 5 wins in a row, leading the AFC West. Was this something we predicted, or and this is for pretty much everybody? Should we all get on the Bo Nick Sean Payton train while we can?
No, I think Kansas City's about to go on this run. So no, I'd say no. Surtain's out for 4 to 6 weeks now. Supposedly, That's what I saw today. Mm-hmm. So if he's out for 4 to 6 weeks, their defense is going to take a sharp turn for the worse. So,
okay. Bobby G, you dabble. you've seen these teams recently. How we feel about the comparison? Let's say the Broncos, the Denver Broncos, and this new look Kansas City offense, like Jerry / Scott is talking about.
I'm like boycotting the Broncos in support of my brother Russell Wilson. Like that team out there. I mean, it don't matter. Like, it can do what they want to do in the regular season. It's what can you do in the playoffs? Like, obviously, Bo's learning. He's on track, but that playoffs is a different season, and Sean Payton hasn't coached a playoff game in how long? So this is a different era. This is a different day and age. So.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then, of course, we got some really, really important developments to talk about. Now, Miss April, you missed the very beginning of the show where our guy, Alan, pretty much had us take a good moment of silence to give praise and send our well wishes to the family of Nick Mangold, who we received information about passing away this past weekend. And then, kind of in a celebration of good spirits. Let's go ahead. Can I say it? Can I say it? Your Jets won over the weekend. So we got to take that 0 out of the column. We're going to put a 1 in there, Miss April. As you soak it all in, and I know you had a lot to say in the group chat, how did you feel about receiving your first win through all of the vitriol that was happening? Because, of course, Tyrod Taylor was supposed to start, but Tyrod's hurt. But Justin Fields starts. You're beating the Bengals. The Bengals got an old quarterback. You know, all of that stuff in the end, you still got to win. How do you feel right now?
So first, I do want to say condolences to Nick's family. He has 4 kids and a wife that he left behind. He played for the Jets for 11 years, and he was 41. And he actually played all 11 years with kidney disease, and that's what he passed away from. He actually posted recently that he was trying to get a kidney. So we weren't expecting it to happen that fast, but we knew that he was sick. So condolences to his family. But with that being said, he died. He died that morning, and so it was a lot. And I feel like something had to happen for us to win, and he was our guardian angel to get us that win. I'm not happy that it was him. There's someone else that they could have took. I'm gonna leave it at that. But I'm happy that we got a win. I'm happy that it was Justin that got the win. I think Woody should be fined $200,000 for his comments about Justin. I also think he should be made to sell the team.
Ah, you still think he should sell the team? Still?
Yes.
Nothing
Yes.
It's still sell the team.
Still sell the team.
Sell the team. Sell the team.
Okay. When you're right, you're right.
How do you come out and publicly trash your quarterback in a big market as big as New York is, and then that's your quarterback that had to come and save you and got you your first win?
Oh yeah, he's out of there after the offseason.
So
Take that
as
money.
big as the hate and the slander was, that's how big the apology needs to be in public. We're waiting, Woody.
It's going to happen. Somehow, some way, a statement is going to have to be made either by the coaching staff or by ownership. And I can't wait until it happens because hey, Justin Fields got that first win. I can't wait to see if he gets any more because it's a thing where I hate for it to have happened to him, but you know he was being frowned upon based upon his performance and what they were seeing from him after giving him a big bag. And
But it's not. I get everybody has an issue with Justin. It is not 100% on him.
No,
it is on the coaching as well.
It is on the coaching. Yes, that's how that was just. It's not all his fault. They are calling plays that may not accentuate what he does best.
So go back to the game versus the Steelers. I think they said it was like 11. I think it was like 11 quarterback design run plays for him. I think I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but it was some high number. After that first game, up until Sunday, they hadn't run that many plays altogether. So whatever that number was from week 1, that's the number of quarterback design runs that they've run since then.
That's play.
But you're complaining about the quarterback. You're complaining about the quarterback, and you saw what he did in the game versus the Steelers. But then you publicly trash the man.
Well, it can only get better. It can only get better from here, and I'm hoping that the upside is Justin Fields gets to show more of himself in a positive light, not just to the media, but to us, the fans, because that's what we expected. Uncle Scott, I don't want you to go before you say something about the Jets. Go ahead and get 10 cents in, bro.
So it's the GM. I mean, what has the GM given Justin Fields this year? Garrett Wilson and what else? Mason Taylor, who they drafted, and then Breece Hall, Breece Hall is Breece Hall. but you have no pass catches. Justin Fields can't throw it to anybody.
Brees Hall was
nobody's gonna catch the
already
ball.
there. The current GM, he didn't do anything with Brees Hall. Brees Hall was left over from JD.
Yes.
So our current GM, no, Joe Douglas should have never been fired.
Plus,
our current GM sucks. He's not doing anything.
plus
I do not like our current GM.
Right, I don't either. Allen, Bobby, and April will. I mean, the defense is terrible. It's way overrated right now. They need to do something on defense. Number one. Number two, when you signed Justin Fields, you should have known exactly what you were getting. A guy that can run the ball effectively. He's not going to throw for 300 yards every game. Can he throw for 200 and 2 touchdowns? Yeah, he could do that if he had some pass catches around him, but he doesn't. So he's left to run the ball 10, 12 times every game. He's not going to throw for 202 because there's nobody around there to catch it. Josh Reynolds is on the IR now. Who's after Josh Reynolds? Alan Lazard? I mean, come on. Alan Lazard is hurt more than he plays. So you have no wide receivers there you can throw to. So what is Justin Fields going to do for the Jets? The only thing he can really do is pull the ball down and run. And that's who Justin Fields has been most of his career, is he's a running quarterback. And when you signed him, you should have known that's exactly what you were getting. But instead, the owner is like, oh, we can't complete a pass because you don't have anybody to complete a pass to. Garrett Wilson's hurt. Josh Reynolds is hurt. Mason Taylor has been ineffective, but that's rookie. That's a rookie in the NFL. So I put the onus on the front office and Woody Johnson. You got to get somebody around this guy to throw to catch the ball, and they don't have anybody.
And then hiring a rookie OC that has never called a game before, that has no experience with the type of offense that Justin is used to. And he's not even a top 5 OC with that type of offense. He's like maybe top 15 out of OCs that were available.
Yep.
And that's who you hire? And then you make
probably an Aaron
public
Glenn
comments
hire
like
too.
that?
That was probably an Aaron Glenn hire too, because he came from Detroit.
It was, but they brought the Detroit offense to New York. And Justin Fields is not Jared Goff. He cannot run that.
No,
Detroit
he's
offense.
not.
They don't have the personnel to run that Detroit offense. So
You lose your starting right guard at the beginning of the year. Elijah Bear Tucker is pretty much out for the year, and he's always hurt.
Yep.
Your offensive line is basically Swiss cheese at this point. They can't block for him, which is why he's having to run 15 times a game, is because nobody can block for him. He has no pass catchers. You wonder why your offense is so bad. You've done literally nothing to help it. No offensive line, no pass catchers, nothing.
In essence, I agree with Averill. He needs to sell the team. He hasn't done anything in the last since they went to back-to-back AFC Championship games.
Sell team.
He needs to sell the team. He does not. He's out of touch with what that Jets team is this year.
Hey.
And ask a lot of Jets fans, the reason why we love Nick Manigault is because he was a big part of our offensive line. He held that offensive line together for years. We don't have that anymore.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have that anymore. The Jets will be in a rebuilding stage once again, even though we thought that they were going to be doing a little better. But we know how that goes, and we're going to keep it moving. So,
to me, it's kind of like Joe Thomas in Cleveland. You have a great Hall of Fame offensive lineman that keeps the unit strong for years to come, as long as he's there.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's the minute he leaves, it's like, we don't have that anymore. How are we gonna protect our quarterback?
I know, and it's crazy because there are times when things like this happen. You been around, Uncle Scott. You know what's going on? You know what's about to happen?
What's that?
I said, do you know what's about to happen? Do you hear that? Do you hear that in the phone?
I don't know what's about to happen, but
oh my God, do you know what's about to happen?
Should I be scared?
Yes, Uncle Scott, you should be very scared because once again, we have the return of the uphill battle, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the uphill battle has returned in all of its glory, and I am so excited. Ray, I wish you could get this personally because this is one of those ones where we are going to have a bit of discussion. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the music for the uphill battle, just in case you didn't know. And the uphill battle is where we will discuss teams who are not at the top of the hill. That's right. They're nowhere near the top of the mountain. So we're going to discuss some teams with 3 wins or less. So we're going to discuss the Dolphins, the Jets, the Ravens, and the Texans, who all won this past weekend. So let's go ahead and put up that graphic, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, look at this, y'all. Y'all remember the movie Cliffhanger? Y'all remember Cliffhanger? Our guy Sylvester Stallone. Y'all remember Sly Stallone? He's trying to save one of these teams right now, ladies and gentlemen. He can only grab on the one. He's only got one arm. The other arm is on the rope. You see what's happening. Somebody's got to latch on to our guy Sly Stallone, ladies and gentlemen. But who can it be? Because all of these teams have 3 wins or less. The Ravens, the Jets, the Dolphins, the Texans. Somebody has got to get a little bit higher, but somebody's going to get left behind. We're going to start off with Alan, of course. Alan, you're at the top of the list. With you having seen this weekend slate of games, okay, and I'll give it a little bit of context real quick before we move forward. So, of course, just in case you were living under a rock, the Texans and C.J. Stroud looked really good up against the 49ers as they won 26 to 15. All right. Somewhere, C.J. Stroud realized he could throw the ball, so he hit Xavier Hutchinson for a 30-yard strike. The Miami Dolphins, somehow, some way, even with their coach on the hot seat, Tua Tagovailoa pulled one out of a hat against the Falcons, so the Dolphins won 34-10. So, of course, Tua is having a really, really tough time right now, and especially when it comes to what he says in the media. Mike McDaniel is taking a lot of heat right now. He's technically on the hot seat as they are on this 6-game losing streak. Big shout out to Devon Achane with that 85-yard run from scrimmage. Then we saw the Snoop Huntley do his thing with the Ravens against the Bears. That's right. The Ravens beat the Bears 30-16. Snoop Huntley stepped in, 186 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 53 yards on the ground. Derrick Henry, of course, King Henry had to do something to him if they won. Of course, and he got 2 touchdowns out of the deal. 71 yards on the ground. It's a big deal. And then, of course, Miss Avril's Jets. We just now got finished discussing that in depth. A 1-point close victory against the Bengals. Justin Fields led a 23-point fourth quarter comeback. Very much unheard of for him. And it went crazy, for all Jets fans as they got their first win. Breece Hall rushed for 133 yards and also threw a touchdown somewhere in there. It was ridiculous. And, Tyler, what is his Mason Taylor? Mason Taylor. I meant to write that down. I think it's Mason Taylor. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me I'm wrong. I think it's Mason Taylor. Big shout out to him for getting the touchdown.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I'm good. Okay, Mason Taylor. Okay, there we go. I wanted to make sure I remember that name. But anyway, guys, 4 teams up on the mountain with Sly Stallone right now. Which team is at the top and which team is just going to be left hanging? Like I said, we'll start with Alan first.
I mean, this is probably the easiest question to answer. It's the Baltimore Ravens.
Really?
You're getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night. If he's healthy for the rest of the season, the Ravens can go on a run here and win the AFC North.
Okay.
I don't think there's a question about it. I think the Texans, yes, you could see them maybe getting a little bit better, maybe competing, but I think the Colts are still better than them in a lot of ways, so I don't see them really coming out of the South. But with how not literally saying bad, but how unorthodox the AFC North has been this season, the Ravens can easily, with a healthy Lamar Jackson and with how much better their defense has played the last couple of weeks, they can make a run and win the division easily at this point.
Okay. Okay, we'll take that. We'll take that. Bobby G, you are up next, and with the 4 teams up on the cliff, who is Sylvester Stallone going to latch on to first?
You tell me. You tell me.
Oh my God.
I refuse to answer that question now.
I had to hit it all night. Pause. But go.
I mean, Alan's absolutely right. Like, the Ravens are, even with everything going on, the Ravens are literally still favorite to win the division right now. And that's crazy to think about. Miami is just a sense of too little too late. And Houston just picked the wrong year to kind of fall off, because it's too hot, it's too late. Like, they literally have to deteriorate in order to attempt to catch them. And the Jets, in the same boat as my team. So, yeah, it's clearly the Ravens.
Okay. Uncle Scott, I don't want you to leave without giving your opinion because I know you're busy. Go ahead and give me your latch on for Sylvester. Who you got?
It's the Ravens. I agree with Alan and Bobby. I mean, the schedule is become very manageable now. Lamar is coming back. The defense looked better than they had all season long in their last game. And to get the win with Snoop Huntley at quarterback only helps them a lot. I mean, they have no room to lose any games, but their schedule will allow them to get back to 500. I think they're about to go on a long winning streak now. So it's Baltimore.
Baltimore. Miss April, are you agreeing with the consensus that the team to Sylvester Stallone will be Baltimore?
Yeah. So Huntley texted Harbaugh during training camp. He was working out, finished the workout, and text Harbaugh. That man was not playing and did a workout and text his old coach. That's how that win happened. So yeah, Baltimore definitely. If anybody doesn't say the Jets is the worst, I don't know what's wrong with you. Jets should definitely be the worst. I feel like if Houston had Tank Dell, they might have a chance, but they just got too many. They have too many holes going on, and they're just not clicking. Maybe last year I would feel differently, and maybe next year I'm hoping they go back to the glory that they had last year. But I want to have hope in Houston, but it's so hard.
Yeah. Let me ask this, April. Are Stephen Ross and Woody Johnson having a battle to see which owner is the worst? Because Stephen Ross has not done the Dolphins any favors either the last few years. Like, it's got if and not been for David Tepper's off the field antics last couple years ago, we would be talking more. But we would have been talking more about Stephen Ross.
Woody Johnson's the worst owner in the NFL right now.
That's it. Woody Johnson's the worst owner.
Yeah, he's lost touch with his team. He has no idea how to construct his team, what the team looks like on the field. I haven't seen him at any. April, correct me if I'm wrong. Does he travel with the team to any games? Is he there? They never show him.
I don't look for him, so I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't look for him.
Okay.
Now,
just being honest.
But Scott, all these guys have high Madden ratings. They should be good players, right?
They should be, right? That's what they say. Now, I'm going to throw a curveball at y'all just to say this, right? I agree with you, but there's a reason why I am worried about agreeing with you all, because in any other year I could say this and I'd be confident. I would say, hey, the Ravens, they're getting Lamar Jackson back, MVP. He's going to be healthy, so on and so forth, blah, 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 right? But in any other year, their defense would be top tier. right? And out of these four, and this is what I was thinking about when I brought it up to everyone, and I wanted to see what y'all would say. Right now, their defense out of these four teams is actually third. The Texans stand out right now because fewest point allowed per game is best in the NFL at 14.7. The lowest total yards allowed, which is top tier defense, that's 266.9. Their pass rush with Will Anderson Jr. leads the NFL in pass rush win rate. That's hard to say, but you can do that 4 times. Daniel Hunter adds pressure to the quarterback and adds 4 QB hits. They have balanced coverage and tackling. Kamari Lassiter, Jalen Pitre. They got some things going on in Houston, whereas the offense could catch up to the defense. And I like CJ Stroud. I like the result. I get the idea that Lamar is a proven commodity. This is true. But any other year when we are talking about the Ravens, the thing that is whooping people's behinds is also the defense. And it's not there as of right now. I'm not saying that it can't be there, but as of right now, they have been struggling. They've been weak against both the run and the pass. And then unknowingly, right behind the Texans in this list of four would be the Dolphins. Who the freak knew? I sure as hell did not. But they are up there with 18 sacks, which is what the big deal is. But the Dolphins and Jets have shown flashes, but their defenses have been inconsistent. The Ravens, we all know right now, have been struggling just because they've been allowing a lot of points while they've been recovering from a lot of big defensive injuries. And Houston's defense is the most complete because they're strong up front. They got defensive, discipline and coverage, and they've been really opportunistic when it comes to defense at the moment. So I get it. Lamar's coming back, and Sly will probably grab the Ravens. But the reason why I put the Texans logo right there is because of the close one, or close two, would definitely have to be Houston. So big shouts out to y'all for participating in that one.
Yeah, but I'll give you three words as to why Houston won't be the team.
Go ahead, bro.
The offensive line.
Wow.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
CJ Stroud was great this week because the offensive line held up against San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, their offensive line's been beyond awful. So that's why the Ravens won't hold up. Plus, the AFC South's got Jonathan Taylor all year long. That's the other reason why. So,
hey, well, when you're right, bro, and I cannot lie about that. And then somehow, some way, we forgot to talk about one more thing, and I'm gonna bring it up right about now. So, as y'all did, you heard the gong. So, we're gonna bring up one more game and I think it's kind of important because it has some historical context, and it also involves one of our favorite guys on the show. It involves you, Bobby G. Yeah, that's right. Bobby G, did you watch the game for the Cleveland Browns?
I did.
Yeah. And of course, Uncle Scott, you probably caught some of that game as well, didn't you?
who did the Browns play this week? Do we know?
Yes.
Any idea?
Great idea.
This week, nobody.
Nobody.
We're on vacation.
Great question. Right? So, of course, the Browns played the Patriots and lost 32-13. But we're not talking about the obvious here, which is the Patriots doing well. Like Uncle Scott said, the season's fresh. The Patriots are his team. He's got an eye on things. But I want to talk about this real quick. And of course, if you wasn't paying attention, you should know by now. This is our
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fifth topic.
The fifth topic.
That's right, y'all. This is the fifth topic. And I really thought hard on this one because I was trying to figure out what it was going to be. And then somehow, some way, it popped into my brain that this is an important thing because we talked about this over the past year and a half. What was going to happen with Myles Garrett? And God dog it must be the money. Okay? It don't make no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. The story of Myles Garrett's 5-sack day in a losing effort. Now, I want y'all to take a minute and just think back as we are all fans of football, last season, Myles Garrett publicly announced that he would like to be traded from the Cleveland Browns roster. And somehow, some way, the Cleveland Browns dug deep. And when I say deep, they dug real deep into them pockets. And they said, you know what? Instead of letting you go, boy, we go pay you. Okay. And they made him the richest non-quarterback player before JJ Watt. So right now, bam, let's go ahead and throw it up there. He's sitting on a pile of money in a vault, sad. Okay. It's not, although it's a lot of money in that vault. Y'all see how much it is. It is still unfortunate that he cannot catch a break. So let's go ahead and break this down, y'all. 5 total sacks resulted in 33-yard loss, right? He had 6 solo tackles and 1 forced fumble, right? This marks the first time in NFL history has recorded 5 sacks in a game and still lost by more than 3 points. Now, somehow, some way, the defense struggled and they allowed, a huge point swing of 21 points in the third quarter. And we all saw it. I got a chance to see it. He was visibly frustrated. He threw down his helmet on the sideline. He went into the post-game press conference and said, I would throw the whole performance away for a win. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to say right now. One of the best defensive players possibly of our generation is wasting away in a Cleveland Browns uniform, and it is all his fault. Now, when I say it's all his fault, I am not taking anything away from Myles Garrett and his greatness. I'm not taking anything away from Myles Garrett, the player. I'm not taking anything from Myles Garrett, the phenomenon. But Myles Garrett, the loyalist, is who we should examine at this point. Because to me, this is a clear example of thinking with your heart and not your head. And I'm once again, I've never been in this position. I will never see this kind of money. I would never play defensive end, outside linebacker in the NFL professionally. But to think about my career and going forward, I've had to let some people go. Shout out to Jay. Jay knows what it is. We want to move forward with a lot of things. We love some people. We care about them. We hope they do well, but we had to let them go. Okay. Is Myles Garrett wasting away in a Browns uniform? And Uncle Scott, I know you got to run. I'll let you go first on this one.
I mean, I said it on Bobby's show yesterday. Until they get the quarterback position right, it's going to be a waste away because that's the most important position on the field. You got Dylan Gabriel in there now. You started with Joe Flacco. You're just basically plugging the hole with putty. I mean, one hole breaks and you plug that, another one breaks. Until they get that quarterback position right, they're going to have a lot of trouble winning because you got the running back now. I don't care what anybody says about the receivers. They're serviceable in the NFL. You can win with them. You can win with Judy. You can win with Cedric Tillman when he's on the field. You can win with these guys. You got 2 great tight ends. Patriots back in the day when they had Gronk and the other guy, they were a tight end first team. And now you got Fannin and Njoku, and they're both really good tight ends.
The other guy.
And the other guy when Gronk was there. So until you get the quarterback position right, this is what the Cleveland Browns are going to be. And if it's Shador, great. If it's not, you got to find him because this guy is in the prime of his career right now. He's the defensive player of the year in my mind, hands down. I don't think there's anybody even close this year. He is the defensive player of the year, and he should be, no matter what the record is. But until you get the quarterback position right, the Browns are going to struggle. They're just going to keep struggling.
For sure. Bobby G, man, this one's close to home for you. Let's go ahead and get you in on this one.
But the premise is wrong. What people don't realize is it wasn't it wasn't a matter of loyalty. It was just a matter of finance. Not finance for him. He couldn't trade about that.
Your mic is muted now, Bobby.
You good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
It wasn't a matter of loyalty; it's a matter of finances, and not his finances. It was we literally couldn't trade Myles Garrett. Had we traded Myles Garrett, the dead cap hit would have been so great with between the combination of that and what we owed Deshaun Watson. We would have literally had to cut half the team. We would not have been able to put a team on the football field, so we couldn't trade him. What's the next best thing to do than that? Offer him an extension. Like,
Stretch the money out, right?
yeah, like dude's unhappy, can't have it. I mean, clearly he's the franchise player. You said like I don't think there's any question he's the best defensive player of this generation. I mean, he's getting close to being in the conversation for one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time. And yeah, Scott, like said, we had Scott on Game Time the other day. And yeah, it's right. You know, we both agree. Like until we get a QB, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, he's played in 3 playoff games in his career, but for a player that magnitude, it's not enough. You want to see them compete year in and year out. And I personally think it's great. I think it's great that he showed his frustration.
Paul, did you just say he's only played in 3 playoff games his entire career?
3 playoff games. He only won
games
against the Steelers. Only 3.
Yeah. We beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. We lost next week in Kansas City, and a couple years ago we lost to the Texans. Which, to be fair, and this is not poop on because he's a great player. No, he's kind of been a no-show in those 3 playoff games. So he definitely needs to appear, you know, to build that part of his resume because regular season obviously speaks for itself. But
now, if he get five sacks in a playoff game, we ain't got nothing to say.
It will get single coverage.
I mean that
see what happens
like,
when you try and block him 1-on-1. That's what the Patriots did.
I mean, Bobby, that sounds like somebody else I know who's now wearing number 1 for the Green Bay Packers. But I digress.
But the difference is like it everything can be traced back to one move, and that's the trade for Deshaun Watson. And we all knew if the only way this thing can work out is if it ends in the Super Bowl. Anything less than that, it could set us back 5 to 10 years. And they knew it, and unfortunately, we got the bad end of the stick, so we are where we are.
Okay, Ms. Averill, do you want to chime in on this one real quick?
Is he a great player? Yes. Would I have paid him all that money for the Cleveland Browns? No. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's short and sweet. No, I wouldn't have paid him all that money. Do I think he's worth it? Yes, but not for that team.
Makes a lot of sense. Not for that team. Alan, your turn.
Bobby, I got 2 first-round picks and the dead carcass of Trayvon Diggs if you want to make a deal. So, I mean...
the only issue with that is he went from having 0 leverage because also the thing when he asked for that trade, he had 2 years left on his contract, so he had 0 leverage, to now having all the leverage because part of that new deal, we gave him a no-trade clause. So he has the right of refusal to any trade.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But he's a fantastic player. One of the best. I agree with Scott. He's the best defensive player this year right now. He should be defensive player of the year. He's the best defensive player right now in the league. I don't think it's even close, if I'm being honest. You could maybe say Max Crosby, but that's a stretch. Myles Garrett's just a one-of-one. He's a one-of-one. Like you said, the cap situation didn't help either side in that regard. And I agree with you, Bobby. It all comes back to Deshaun Watson. It all comes back to the owners making the decision, hey, maybe Baker's not our guy. We don't know if he's going to stay healthy long term. if we can get this guy who was a top 10 draft pick a year prior, I believe either a year prior or in that same draft, who's shown he can take a dead franchise like the Houston Texans and take them to the playoffs. Let's see what he can do for our offense. Let's see what he can do. And we know we have the defense that can cover that. Unfortunately, with all the legal drama that Deshaun's had to deal with since coming to Cleveland, all the injuries, he is a shell of himself. He's fourth on the depth chart, which, ironically enough, there's talks that he may be playing at the end of the year. Who knows? But yeah, Miles is a great player. Is he being wasted in Cleveland? Yes, but in reality, if you want to look at it at face value, neither side had a choice. Miles wasn't going to be able to get out of that situation either or because he still had 2 years, like Bobby said. And the Browns needed to kill a lot of that dead cap that came from the Deshaun contract. So they had no choice but to extend him.
But the point is I agree with Alan, but the point is Cleveland shows no patience with these quarterbacks. Zero. As soon as they struggle, it's like, oh, he's not the quarterback for us. We got to get rid of him. You got to go through the struggles with these guys, with the Baker Mayfields, with the guys you drafted in the past. Which, if they start Shador, you got to go through the struggles with Shador. He's a rookie. He's going to struggle. He's not going to perform top flight every game. Dylan Gabriel, same thing, not going to perform top flight every game. You got to stick with these guys. And Cleveland just doesn't. And that's another problem.
So who are y'all starting this Sunday?
Me.
They're on a bye week, right?
Yeah, we're on a bye.
Okay.
Well, guess who Justin Fields gets to see in 2 weeks?
Hey,
A pissed off Myles Garrett.
hey, but what I was going to say is that a lot of the talk around, media, Cleveland, is they're saying that Stefanski is staunch on the fact that Dylan Gabriel is his guy, and the higher ups in the GM is for Shador, and right now it's unfortunate that just to get a spark, just to give Myles Garrett a little bit of hope, we are not seeing that as of right now. But once again, just to reiterate what we were just talking about, Myles Garrett must be there for the money, but that's not a negative thing. So let me be clear. If Myles Garrett was to ever stumble across the rec room, we here are all for you. We want you to prosper. But as a generational player, we get why you took it. We get it. But the downside of you having taken the funds is being in purgatory where you are right now, bro. And as an awesome once in a generation type player, we wish you all the best going forward. But if you were somewhere else, that would be cool too. Look at if you was anywhere else right now, we still.
I feel like anywhere else he would have had a ring by now.
This would be year one. If he went anywhere, it would be year one right now. Because he technically asked for the trade, but a team like the Raiders or something, somebody who would have had the draft capital is the point. In my mind, in the end, what made the trade with Jerry and the Green Bay Packers work was the draft capital. Another team who could have offered the draft capital that was said, to be in the top tier at the time would have been the Raiders, because of course the Raiders are never that good. They always get a nice draft pick. You could throw them in there. The Dolphins, who are somewhat in one of those spaces where they're somewhere always between 1 and 10, offered them some bodies and a draft pick. That would have been good. What? The Carolina Panthers, we know they would have been in the top 5 of the draft if they would have did it. Give them 2 of them boys and let them go and let Myles Garrett go over there and get some good barbecue in Charlotte. There was plenty of places for the option for him to go, but Bobby makes a whole lot of sense. The original move being the Deshaun Watson pickup and the immediate guarantee of all of that funds, plus the cutting of a player like Myles Garrett, having that dead cap, they would have had to eat a lot of crow. And when I say crow, I mean money. Okay, they would have had to figure out a way to make them books balance out, and that would have been a lot. There would have been a lot of hurt people on the practice squad. Okay, would have been a lot of practice squad players hurt, a lot of third and fourth bench guys hurt. But for now, Miles Garrett took the high road. He extended himself. He let the money stretch a little longer, and just like Bobby said, that no trade clause means that when he does pick up his boots and bag and cleats and say it's over, I'm out, he gets to make the choices. So let's see what happens. And maybe, just maybe, a change of quarterback could energize Miles Garrett just a little more and incentivize him to stay. So
Yeah, but
Stop trying to take our dudes, man.
here's
Why is it always our dudes, man? Go get Mike Trout. Go get him up.
look at
He ain't doing shit.
Hey, Bobby, let me ask you something. Whit brought up a point. Didn't 3 weeks ago management told Stefanski you have to start Gabriel and bench Flacco? Didn't they say that to him?
No, that was not a mandate.
that was a Stefanski thought. I thought it was.
No, it wasn't a mandate.
Is it a mandate now that he has to start Shador, or is it just?
No, that's the Shadorian, like that. Yeah, there's a section of people who aren't really Browns fans. They're Shador Sanders
Shador
fans,
fans,
and
yeah,
they are
Shador
loud.
fans.
They are loud.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you hear a lot of, and I hate to quote this dude, you hear a lot of fake news.
Big news.
Coming to yeah, people talking about, but no, it's nothing. I mean,
Wrong.
It's almost like people don't think that these guys watch football. Like,
right?
You don't think Kevin Stefanski's watching these dudes, and like if Shador was clearly better than everybody there, you don't think he would have started him?
Of course he would have started,
because he gets all the credit if he does. Like,
and I don't. And he's got a back injury now, but we're gonna slide off into the sunset with this one, y'all. He's got a back injury now, but I don't think it's about him as of right now. I don't think it's about him being leagues above Dylan Gabriel. I think and this is just my complete opinion, I think it's more so about what is best for the view of the locker room. Is the locker room going to say, hey, he's giving Shador a chance, let's go try really hard? You know what I'm saying? Like, we like Dylan Gabriel. He is pretty good, but he's not our guy. Sometimes there's a thing, and I've seen it, and we've talked about it on the show, that when somebody is their guy, they will try hard. For example, Seattle found out that Russell Wilson was not their guy. The team slowly but surely went down, and then boom, they stuck in Geno Smith, and they look like world beaters. You know what I'm saying? And current
Russ got hurt.
Yeah, Russ got hurt, but eventually when they slid Russ out and they stuck Geno in, it looked like a totally different team. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this side with
two quick things real quick. With
go ahead.
First of all, these are the same people that are saying that Tennessee firing Brian Callahan was a mistake, which we know, which all of us in here know was definitely not a mistake for sure with the way he's ran that team. Also, Scott, I know you know that guy Robert from Boston. Could he maybe make a call to the ownership in Cleveland?
Oh no,
Robert from Boston. Who the heck is that? Do we know who that is? Robert from Boston.
Wow.
No, there's not a deal in place to get Garrett. Cleveland won't trade him. There's no way Cleveland's trading him.
No.
They're hanging up the phone right now.
Every time they hang up the phone right now.
Yeah.
You can call. You can say, yeah, Jerry Judy, but what about Myles Garrett? They hang up the phone every time. But all right, guys. So we're gonna throw it to this one right here. So right now, Garrett, through 8 weeks, right now he's got 22 tackles, 10 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and a couple of tipped balls at the line of scrimmage. But check this out: through his inception into the league in 2017, the Browns are, get this, 50, 77, 1 tie, and 3 playoff appearances, with the win against the Steelers in the 2020 wild card. Wow, guys, look here. We ran straight into the second hour. It's been going crazy. We actually had a great show. Once again, thanks to our guy, Evan from P5. That's right, Evan Wheeler from P5 Athletics. We do appreciate you for stopping in. This was a great show. And we normally end the show with one of these things I love to call a slice of life. Bobby G, you got one of them for us? We can go ahead and get up out of here.
Yeah, I give you one. Keep it short and sweet. Hey, this week is a fun weekend, Halloween weekend coming up. And I know, obviously, I had fun when I was a kid, going trick-or-treating and carrying on and all the festivities. But today's world is not the world we live in. So just make sure you're being safe. Have fun, but be safe. Take all the precautions necessary. Sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but yeah, you use your light bright. Watch out for those straight cars. Keep your kids close, and other than that, man, have fun with your families. Enjoy. There you go.
Yeah,
I never really got to enjoy Halloween anyway.
Oh man, what? Yeah, well,
I had strep twice on back-to-back Halloween years. Like my immune system hates me for some reason. This time of year is when I get sick the most. So my immune system hates Halloween for some reason.
Well, yeah, I'm about to say your immune system hates this time of year, but guess what, y'all?
I wish you had more time.
I think we did great, y'all. Once again, big shouts out to Evan from P5. Big shouts out to everybody who got to be on the show today. It was great. I think we did the dang thing. So look, y'all, once again, make sure Tuesday you are in the building because we will be back again with the crew. So for my guy, Bobby G, for Uncle Scott, a.k.a. Jared from Dallas.
Thanks for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
And for AP Alan Perez, man, my guy, and my girl, Miss April Jets girl. Thank you for stopping in, and congratulations on the one win, Miss April. And RIP to Nick Mangold, and our condolences once again to his family. We will be back again on Tuesday, and we'll probably tell some Halloween stories. Thanks, Bobby, for bringing it up because I completely forgot. Anyway, man, we out the door. Peace.